there ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I'll be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let 'em know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show 'em who's in charge. Call me a shooting star. Shooting stars.
Didn't even get to cross.
I'm moving too far. Get to glass. Looking at a shooting star. Got more than a couple of people going mad. I swear they're rooting hard. Tell them I'd be big in the game like she went and got them breast implants. I said I'm moving too fast. Didn't even get to glance. I'm ready to eat off track like I'm seated in a restaurant. If you had swag like mine, you know it's best to flaunt. We aren't hating because you aren't. Shining like it's neon. Rock like kings of Leon. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, then I just have to leave. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, then I just have to leave. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting shots. Shooting stars.
Didn't even get to cross.
Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away? Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away?
Good evening. Our first European victory in a while. Hence, I'm wearing the UEFA final shirt 83-84 when we won the equivalent of the Europa League. And so I'm wearing the jersey because it's an European victory. Many thoughts about this game. We have people coming. Stell is getting home. He was at the game. He should be jumping on about roughly, because the game started late. He should be jumping on roughly about 20 minutes or so. We got some other people who are about to jump on and have their say, their commentary of the game. And so, yeah. While we wait, if there's a couple of familiar people who want to jump on, I might just post the link. Yo, Margaret Stelio, he's at the game. He was at the game. He's on his way. And so I am hosting for the first 20 minutes until he gets here, and other people who are going to jump on. Let me give a couple of big ups. Um, Matt Childs, big up. Most yeah, Stella is in the mud. I actually have the Brendan Johnson shush device that I had from the other day. Um, what a game! Still loving this game. Amazing. Big up Julie. Big support of the channel. We got Minerals. Big up, brother. How are you doing? We got Big Tone. Big Tony in the house. Oh, yeah, I exactly agree. 3 points. Thank for that Qarabag was shit. They couldn't score in a brothel. Oh, we're gonna get to that. Ange is still clueless. Ange out, Levy out. Harold Denton. It's not Ange Ball. It's Car Crash TV. It's Kazakami football. It's Kazakami football. Um, People love it. So, hey, big up Jay. Big up, big up. Tottenham looks good against average size. Those stats have been highlighted on the channel. Yeah, it has. Big up Scott. Big up. Yep, yeah, it's their level. I'm gonna get to that. Scott, if you want to come on, I can send you the link or I can post the link. Maddie Kushner. Yeah, I I agree, but a lot of people think differently. And I'm gonna get to that. Tommy G. Tommy G's in the house. Big up to Bertie Hotspur is also in the house. Yes, everyone smash a like, subscribe, hashtag cash out Levy, and take Donna and Ange and the rest. Enough's enough. We deserve better. Big up to John, Chris Collin. I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna start that comment. I'm gonna get to that. Chris Collin just said, at least tell them they'll park the bus and waste time when Dragosin got sent off like Arsenal did. And I'm gonna get to that because horrible comparisons I'm seeing on X on Twitter, and it's like really, really. So we're gonna get to that. Lappers, big up Lappers, um, big up Roy, big up, big up, big up Alexander, Alexandre, big up, big up, big up, big up. Who else is in the house? Awesome, big up, big win with 10 men. Yeah, yeah. Hey, it's a victory. We will take it. We'll take it. Big up, Jordan. Big up. Yeah, Vicario was great today. It was great today. Um, Felt sorry for Dragson tonight, and we're gonna get to that. Um, his performance. Yes, Coach Shop. You're good, bro. There's a storm in Florida. Hope you well. Yeah, there is a storm going on. It's gonna hit landfall in a couple of hours. The show should be very done. Whenever a huge storm comes here, I lose power. So uh, hopefully I don't lose power. Or there's a flooding. It is a big storm. We get hurricanes here in Florida, and so everybody's under hurricane watch. I've been home all day because work was canceled, just in preparation for this storm. So thank you, Coach Shop. Um, as of now, I'm doing okay. I got light. I got power. Things are good so far. So hopefully I don't lose power. Big up, neutral fan. Big up. Like Spurs today, they were playing against Farmers. Yeah. Oh yeah. Soul Boy is in the house. If you need a guest, Stefan, big up. Uh, yeah. Let me post the link. Actually, no. Let me send you the link. Stefan, I'm gonna send you the link. Normally we have North London's hours tonight, but we had a game tonight. So Stefan, I just sent you the link. You can jump on. Big up Mark Swift, Ryman. Big up, big up. Lee and just hanging on, hanging on. Big up to Leftovers. Yep. Are you anywhere near Ruskin, Florida? No, Ruskin's not too far off. It's like north, west, but it's uh, it's it's about an hour and a half northwest of me. But the capital is where. Oh, the light just flashed a little bit. Yeah, I might lose power. Um, that's not good. Still needs to get here from the game real soon. Um, it's Florida life, man. It's hurricanes. It's Florida life. Uh-oh, light is flashing. It just flashed again. I might lose power. Stefan, you might be leading the show. If I lose power, this is not good. Still, you need to get here ASAP. And he knows that there's a possibility I could lose power because of this hurricane. But big up 3SS Sports Picks and Coffee. Big up, big up, big up to you. And Mark Swift, of course, one of the best mods that are out there. Big support the channel. Big up, big up. Stefan, we can't agree. Trust or deserve the second yellow. Okay. Yeah, we never got a chance to talk about that. We'll probably talk about that.
Of course, yeah. All of the letter of the laws, all of them apply only when it comes to Arsenal. Szoboszlai kicks the ball across the pitch on a second yellow against Far on a yellow card, doesn't get anything. Every single one. Doku before the yellow card from Trossard kicks the ball away, doesn't get a yellow card. But with Arsenal, it's you have to agree with the rules. And I agree with the rules, but at least apply them equally. That's all. That's all I'm asking.
Stefan, it is the when there's the one street everybody speeds. Big up Michael, where everybody speeds, right? And you're like, oh, there's never a cop there, or the cop just overlooks it. But then
No, Mari.
that one time he says, oh, I'm pulling this guy over for just speeding. It just not enough.
Mari. Wait. No. When it comes to this, it's literally, I'm starting to, I believe before it was bullshit, but there really is a certain kind of dislike among referees towards Arsenal. Erling Haaland threw the ball at Gabriel's head, then immediately after the restart, purposefully barged into Partey and got into fisticuffs with Gabriel. Did not receive one yellow card. One yellow card. At least give him a yellow card for being a moron. Trossard literally, I think they did like a timer on the whistle to the kick of the ball that he did. It was like 0.8 seconds. Immediately. Doesn't even think about it.
We'll get to that because we want to get quickly on thoughts on the 3-0 victory.
I watched the game. It was. Let me tell you guys, as a neutral, it was an amazing game. It really was. It was an amazing. It was awesome. I'm gonna.
So let me get my thoughts, and then I'll get Michael, and then I'll get the neutrals points. All right. First of all, like I said, I'm wearing this. Anytime we win in Europe, I wear this jersey. The last time we won in Europe, a trophy. This game, it's my emotions watching this game was at the end. It's just 3 points. We move on. People can't truly or really get too excited about this. We were favored to win. The performance, and let me get to the starting lineup. When we first saw the starting lineup, pull it up. We have Vicario, Keeper, Gray, Dragson, Van de Ven, Davies, Sumasar, Bergvall, Johnson, Solanke, and Son in the starting 11. And so you look at the lineup, it's just like, kind of expected this, lineup. Some people thought Kulu would probably start in there, but this was the lineup. And so watching this game, of course, the red card from Dragosin, some people feel sorry for him. I really don't. I thought it was terrible defending. Yes, the high line, but it was just terrible defending. I have the CBS Paramount coverage. They crucified Dragosin. For those who say, oh, maybe we should bench Romero, I've watched the commentary game and today, and I'm like, are you sure that you want to bench Romero for Dragson? I don't know about that, but if that's your opinion, then you're entitled
Mari,
to your opinion.
Mari,
But
I
but
heard the perfect joke today about Dragusin, right? Because when we signed him in January, they did the promo and they did Enter the Dragon, right? So he did exit the dragon today. 7 minutes and the guy was gone.
Yeah, yeah.
Go on. Sorry, I had to get that one in.
But in his, there's no excuse.
Hold on.
No, let me finish, Mark.
And so, and then quickly, immediately, and props to Solanke, good pressing to cause a turnover, and Brennan Johnson scored. So that's 3 and 3. And like I said in the last show, that's fine and dandy that he's doing it against mid teams and the Coventry and the. Granted, the positive, you're finding the net, but the last 2 games when he scored, he has done shit the rest of the game, like absolutely shit the rest of the game. So it's consistency, and I want to see him do this against the big boys, right? United, whatever you think about United, right? I want to see him do this against the big boys, right? Like score a goal against the big boys, and you know what? The criticism will decrease. And so he scores, and the rest of the time, the fluidity of the team is, in my opinion, terrible. People could say, "Well, we were down to 9 men. To 10 men." No, it made no difference. What's the name? Qarabag is not that great. They're really not that great. So there was still, beautiful football, as they said, to be played. I didn't see it. I didn't even see it. Eventually, off a set piece, off a rebound, SAR scores. Okay, it's 2-0. Then and then eventually Solanke scores. To sum it all up, this was a meh victory. It's a good 3 points. I'm happy, but there's still some things, and we'll get to it, that is just really, I guess, Qarabag. Like you're still questioning some things that Ange does, and some of the performances of the players. I know we'll talk about Son today. We have to talk about Son. Another
Is
point.
there any guys?
Another thing we'll probably hold on. Another thing we'll probably talk about is Ange, because people are praising Ange, right? Since we have Stefan there, people are praising Ange. Oh, okay, he didn't park the bus or whatsoever against Qarabag, which it's against Qarabag. It's not against Manchester City, but we'll get to
away. Yeah.
Away. And so we were brave today. Okay, it's Qarabag, but those are my thoughts on the 3-0 victory. And then the last thing I would say, damn, can Mikey Moore get some more minutes? Like, can he like seriously, other than 5-6 minutes? Like, can the guy get more minutes than that? Like, the game is already over. I said that in the last game, and if I'm Mikey Moore, I'm just like, please find me another team to help develop my game because like 5-6 minutes, it was 3-0 with 20 minutes left. I'm like, okay, it's time to bring Mikey Moore. Those are my thoughts. Before I get to neutral standpoint, let me go to Michael and Dan, Stefan, and then we'll get your thoughts. Michael, your thoughts on the victory?
Yeah, so I've heard you guys were talking about like Arsenal against City, so I quickly want to say like my one piece on it, right? For me, everyone who like blames Arsenal for parking the bus like should get their heads checked. Like, what were they supposed to do? Fucking open up and let City score 6 goals? Like, I don't understand the criticism. I think if you have one of the best, if not the best defense in Europe, you have the lead, right? Maybe it would have been a different thing if you were like losing 2-0 already or whatever, right? But you had the lead, and if not for like a ping pong goal in the 98th minute, you would have gotten a win at the Etihad playing with 10 men, right? So I don't understand the criticism personally. And honestly, like I'm not sure how to comment on the refereeing decisions because I am really pissed off that we have to talk about referees instead of the game. And it's not a new thing to say that the referees in the Premier League are trash, all of them. Like I don't know if there is a good referee in the Premier League who actually like delivers consistently, and especially Oliver and Taylor. They are the two worst at that, in my opinion. They are the two guys that want to have the most attention on them, right? So that's the way I look at the game, like at the weekend, right? But quickly on the win today, as I said, exit the dragon in the 7th minute, and honestly, I don't know why, but it looks like the last 3 games that we won, some of them miraculously, or whatever is the word, right? I think all of them start with an "oh no" moment, like the meme from Planet of the Apes, I think, right? Like no, oh no, right? And it's like Forster's pass against Coventry, like in the 30th second of the game. Brentford scoring in the 20th second. Now this red card, right? And I'm like, oh no, like can I have a calm evening with this club, right? And apparently not. And listen, I feel the worst. I was honestly like, don't get me wrong, I don't rate Qarabag, right? They got knocked out of Champions League last year by a Polish team, which means they aren't really good, right? Let's be honest about it. But still, when you play with 10 men, a lot of bad things can happen. So as much as I don't think it was like a good performance, it's really strange because like I think it was a good performance, right? We won 3-0 playing with 10 men. So for me, like overly criticizing the team for winning with 10 men is not something we should do, even if the opposition wasn't great, right? And I know like they missed 1 or 2 sitters or even more if you depending on how you look at those, right? And especially the penalty. But I still think that we did well, scoring 3 goals. Ironically, we are 4th in the table right now in the Europa League, winning 3-0. So listen, I was shooting bricks for a couple of occasions in that game, but I am happy with the win. And I have to say that, listen, we can criticize individual performances. As Mari have said, we will probably have to talk about Son because he wasn't great today, and I think that's putting it lightly. But other than the individual performances, I actually think we played like okay. Like I don't want to say we play really good because like I will have people bombarding me. No, this guy was shit. That guy was shit. What the hell? Like what the fuck are you talking about, Michael? Like this. I just want to say I appreciate the fact that we won. Okay, that's the way I see it. So Yeah, on to the next, on to Man United. That's the way I see it.
Dan, your thoughts on the game?
Let's just say it was entertaining.
Definitely.
I completely agree, Dan. It was a great game to watch. It really was.
It was entertaining. I mean, Dragusin, it's what I've said about him before, and he showed it in Europe, didn't he? That he can't just spin round and run like Van der Ven. He needs a whole semicircle to turn round. And he's not a bad player, not at all, not a bad defender. But does he fit this system? No, you can't have it. He's an old school centre back more than anything. And when you play suicide tactics like we do and leave one defender sitting there on his own, you're asking for trouble. Yeah, all right, it was his fault. And where he didn't control the ball properly and then sort of panicked. If anything, he should have just let the player go on to goal, basically, and chase him.
Yeah.
He could have probably caught up with him. But no, he panicked, took his legs, blatant red card, end of story, basically. No ifs or buts about it. Red card.
Done quickly. I think even if he let the guy run past him and score the goal, I still think we could have won the game playing 11 versus 11, right? I was talking with my brother and I was like, maybe he should have just let him go. I know it's risky going 1-0 down so early in the game, but I'm not sure if
it's
that
go
was
off
necessary
1-0 down than with 85 minutes to go, innit?
Mm-hmm.
And come on, we've got to be looking at this like we're meant. You got to do teams like Qarabag, whatever they're called. I can't pronounce it properly, so I won't even try. Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know. What do you want me to refer to them? So I just call them Lidls or Aldi's or something. But
Qarabag,
Qarabag, guys. It's
Qarabag.
really hard.
It's actually not that hard.
It's
We
Qarabag.
didn't play a Polish team, right?
I'm not even gonna put the effort into it. And I mean, yeah, we won it 3-0. I mean, there's another way you can look on it. Some would say maybe you're being negative. No, I'm being realistic on this one. If they had someone who could actually put it in the fucking back of the net, we could have been up shit street.
Yeah.
I mean, that penalty was absolutely awful.
Oh.
How they missed that open goal, possibly, and I do say possibly, even Timo Werner would have put that in, but I do mean possibly.
Ooh, that's a risky statement, mate.
No, it was honestly,
Possibly.
it was harder to miss.
Possibly.
Of
course it was. I mean, bloody hell. I mean, seriously, it just, yeah. And I think we definitely made a mountain out of a molehill. We had a few players play well. I thought Doji played well when he came on. I thought Basuma had a really good game until he gave that penalty away. It was a penalty for me because he touched the player's foot first, then the ball. Yeah, very light-hearted, but if you go by the rules, that was a penalty. But I thought he had quite one of his better games. I thought Sarr played all right. No problems with him. Son, I thought he was crap. Johnson, credit where credit's due. 3 games, 3 goals. But if he wants to lose a critic like me, he's going to have to start playing against the bigger teams and actually showing he can do it against the bigger teams and not just showing up for 10 minutes and doing something and disappearing again, which he does a lot. Solanke, I thought he worked hard in the game, got lack of service. Yeah, I thought Archie Gray looked absolutely shot after about 20 minutes. He looked absolutely knackered, the poor fella. Yeah. And they had to take, and everyone was going on about how great he was. And I just thought he was knackered. You could see the man's he's had no game time and it showed. He was absolutely shattered. And that's why they had to take Johnson off to bring on Kulu to cover his arse, basically, because they was attacking us down our right-hand side, their left-hand side, and just teaming up on him all the time. That's not Johnson. That's not his job to come back and do that. That's not the sort of player he is. That is where you need a Kulu. And I thought he'd done well on covering him because, I mean, how Gray was still on at the end of the game, I don't know. He looked like you could have brought him off in a coffee box. He looked dead as doornails.
No, and that, if you notice Qarabag, the last 20 minutes, they piled on that left side continuously.
Yeah.
Because they knew
they was already doing it. Yeah, they was already doing it in the first half. Last 15 minutes, they was already doing it. That's why Johnson came off at half time. And fair play on Ange for seeing that.
Yeah, I was about to say,
that,
fair play to the guy for noticing the issue, right, and trying to fight it with Kulusevski.
That's what I want the manager to do, and he made the right decision there. Because Johnson, that's just not his game coming back and doing that.
Yeah.
So overall, I mean, Van der Ven, he did what he had to do, and our keeper, I thought he was brilliant tonight. I mean, he made a world-class save, no ifs or buts about it. That one in the top left, I'd like to see most keepers pull that off.
That was good.
And his distribution was good for a change. He didn't panic at any time with the ball. I thought he had a solid game, and I thought this was definitely a game to play him in because he needs to get a bit of confidence back. But I thought he had a pretty solid game.
The distribution part, I don't know if he made a few kind of where he just gave the ball back to the opposition, and there was one moment where he did take a little bit of time on the ball, and the guy almost closed him down. So I
didn't say it was perfect.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think in like 78th minute I checked it because like after the Monday show that you guys did on this channel, I'm watching you, right? Because the amount of shit I had on Vicario on the Monday show, I will be watching you, right? And if he performs well this season, I'm not saying any of you guys, right? I mean like Stel and other guys, right? And like things like Henderson is better or fucking Sanchez is better or other guys, right? I'm watching that and I will keep tabs on it, right? And in the 75th minute, he had 100%.
You're on about the heated debate on who's the better keeper
on Monday.
Guys, this season.
By the way, I think Raya is better, right? I'm not in the camp of Raya is worse than Vicario, right? I am of the firm belief that like the top four currently in the table, which is Martinez, Alisson, Ederson, and Raya, I think all of them are better in most areas of the game, but I think he's like clearly for me 5th or 6th best keeper in the league. And that's my point, right? That's the way I look at it. But I've heard things like fucking Sanchez is better, or like Henderson is better, or Muric is better. The chat piled on, right? So I will be keeping tabs on it because like I am allergic to bullshit like that.
I'll give you my side of Vicario. Vicario is a better shot stopper than Raya. But Raya is Raya is a much more complete keeper overall.
Yeah.
But Vicario, I'd say he's probably 3rd best shot stopper in the league. I think the only one's better than him are Alisson and Ederson. Actual reflex.
Ederson? No. Ederson, in my opinion, is one of the most overrated keepers in the Premier League. Because if you look at his pure stats, Dan, his shot saving percentages is pretty much below mid-table. He's not a very good shot stopper. He doesn't.
I've seen him do a lot of good stuff.
No. He'll make. I'm not saying he won't make big saves, but as the pure shot stopper, if you're looking at stats, the 3 best shot stoppers are Bernd Leno, Alisson, and Martinez. From what I remember, I haven't read. I'm pretty sure Vicario is also up there. Yeah, but Bernd Leno actually.
I was just giving an opinion. I didn't get out a book and start reading stats or nothing. I was giving an opinion, nothing more. Nothing.
Can I just ask a quick question? Can I just ask a quick question?
No,
Can I just ask a quick question?
I've got my book out now. Yeah. So what are the stats?
Oh gosh, are we going to do this? Are we going to do this?
No. Tell me. I've got my pen now. What are the stats?
From what I remember, the 3 best shot stoppers based on save percentage and XG allowed and all of that.
I was taking the piss, mate. Don't worry, I was taking the piss.
Thank goodness. Can I just ask a question? Because I've just been on the Football Terrace. I can't believe I went on there and I heard what I just heard. Like, Archie Gray, the man of the match.
What? Fuck off.
What?
I was just laughing. I was sitting there thinking, have I watched a different game here?
Wait, according to who was it? The team?
The little Dan, the young Dan, and Henry Wright. And George and Henry Wright left the stream because as soon as I said it,
but who was the guy's question? Who was man of the match? Because I honestly, after watching the
I mean,
game,
I've never heard such absolute waff in my life. Honestly, where are we going with this? And then when I was saying to them, "Oh, what are you watching?" George said, "What are you watching?" I was like, "I'm watching the game, mate." And like,
Tottenham, the guys, what's the name?
Archie Gray was not man of the match, mate. He was.
I mean,
done.
honestly,
yeah,
what
but
are we
guy,
doing here?
who was man of the match?
Look, I'm sorry, yeah,
Who
I
in
ain't going
your
to be
opinion, was
offensive to
man?
no one, but I can't take no one seriously that refers Richarlison to R9. So take it however you see it, but I can't. That's just
You can't take these people seriously, can you? I was sitting there, and I was literally sitting there. I was like, "Am I mad here? Am I mad?" And this Henry
No.
Wright that knows Sava, and they left straight away when I said it. I was like, and I'm sorry, I'm going to mention their names. I don't really care anymore because I'm sorry, they need to be embarrassed here. Because if you're telling me after watching that game, telling me, they literally were telling me, and they're saying I was the mad one, and they're telling me that Archie Gray was the man. Archie Gray was the man of the match. What are we doing here? Like on the game, it wasn't that. Listen, we did okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the point. I think it was an okay game, right?
It's an okay game because we had 10 men, but Qarabag should have scored. Yeah, they had enough chances to win the game. Yeah, they should at least got a goal. But the thing is, though, at least we were clinical today.
The man of the match was Dominic Solanke.
Yeah,
I disagree.
you know what?
I disagree. The man of the match, was Qarabag's keeper because he gave you 2 goals. He gave you 2 goals.
That's fair. By the way, he's Polish, so I'm taking that. Right?
You know what? I can give it. I'll give. You know what? You know what? I give it to him. You know what? Because I'll give Asmatic credit, yeah, because I had a very good conversation with him, yeah, and he told me why we bought Solanke in, and it's exactly why Johnson and Son are now inside forwards because he's like a sacrificial lamb. He's like the Firmino, Firmino and Emil Heskey. That's what he bought him in for because he presses very hard, but also he sacrifices himself to create for the team and holds up the ball.
But he doesn't create anything, Alex. What does he create?
He creates.
I mean, anything is a bit of an overstatement, right? Because the first goal was his pressing and assist, right? But
it was on that first goal. Turnover.
I mean, by the way, Stefan, I'm not like arguing your point that he's brilliant or what, like not in that sense.
No, we're not saying he's brilliant.
I haven't been let down by his performances. Maybe against Arsenal, but to be fair, you are a fucking amazing defense.
I'm not saying he's amazing. I'm not saying he's amazing at all. I don't think he's. Listen, I want an arrogant striker. I need an arrogant striker with swag. Yes, but when Asmati explained this to me, and I think he explained it on Spurs Kings TV, which you should be subscribing, by the way. You should be subscribing, by the way, for Marlon and Asmati, by the way, because they're very good, by the way. Yeah.
the match was Qarabag for being so shit.
But the point I'm making is that I see the point of why they got Solanke in. I can understand why he was man of the match because for me, he was all over the pitch and he helps he does help Son and he does help Johnson because he did create for Johnson.
I'm sorry for me. The man of the match was easily your goalkeeper. Vicario made some really good saves. For me, Vicario should be man of the match. But Solanke, did he manage to press and then pass the ball to Brennan Johnson? But the finish, I think the finish was very good. Like more so than did Solanke create that. Yeah, he won the ball back, but I don't know.
But we're not talking about who finished it. We're talking about who created the chance.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
but in terms of, for me, the finish was far more vital in the goal than the actual.
Yeah, but we're not talking about the person who finished. We're talking about the
person
who set it up. So we're talking about whoever set it up.
Solanke, I've been watching him and I've been expecting a bit more in terms of from what I saw from Bournemouth. I expected a little bit more in terms of just general play. Does he work hard? Yeah, he works hard. Does he press really well? Yeah. But you didn't pay 65 million for a guy to work hard and to press well and win the ball sometimes. I want to see him shooting. I want to see him winning
I
headers.
don't. Can I be honest with you, Stefan? Honestly, I don't think he's that sort of striker for me. At the moment, he's just doing his job. I think that's what we
He
got. We've got
was at
somebody who can do.
Bournemouth. He was
Yeah,
at Bournemouth.
but
He's
we had
more
to
of a
see.
target man, isn't he?
No, yeah, exactly.
He's more
I
of a
just think he
target man.
does. I think that's why he brought him in. Listen, I'm not fully for him. No, I don't like my front three still, other than Son. But I still think Son. I just don't like the combination at the moment. I just don't like it, right? But I just don't like the forward line. Regardless, I just don't like it. But I see the point of why he brought in Solanke. That's what I'm saying at the moment. You know what I mean?
But is that
And I
is it?
understand why he's man
Yeah.
of the match.
But
That's it.
wait, but is it Solanke the point of which that there is a difference? He is making a difference, but is it because Richarlison, let's be honest, is not good enough, and it's so evident that even Solanke, who I don't think has played really well or anything, even him playing kind of at a above average to average level is kind of overhyping his performance because of how bad Richarlison was before, or because of how, let's say, Son, for example, whenever he'd play up against big center backs, Son would also go missing. But in my opinion, the game was. I'm gonna be honest, guys. As an Arsenal fan, I hope Ange signs a 10-year deal because this system, Ian has said it. I'm sorry. It's from being before I used to think he was naive because Michael said it perfectly. Where when you come from the lower leagues, you think like your system will always win in whatever league you are in. But some of the tactics, like the amount of times, it reminded me a little bit of the Chelsea game last season when they won. The amount of times your defensive line was literally on the halfway line, and like three attacking, and then three attacking players from Qarabag were like pointing to the guy to pass them into space, but because they lacked the quality, they weren't precise. It's like I look, people are gonna and I'm reading comments. At least we weren't like Arsenal playing defensive and this and that. Okay,
what does it matter?
I mean, no, but in terms of like, it matters because it's better to be entertaining than to try not to lose. Maybe that's the whole point of the.
Well, no, I disagree with that. I don't care how entertaining it is.
Yeah,
as long as I win the fucking game, I don't care.
I agree that Dan. I completely agree with you. Like some of the laughable comments about Arsenal, like going back to just the final caveat before I give it to somebody else, is Arsenal. Just to compare, when Liverpool challenged Man City for the first year, they went to the Etihad, and Sadio Mane got a red card, I think, around the same time as Trossard. Guess how the score ended? 5-1. 5-0 or 5-1 to Man City. So, and that's why Man City were so rattled, because they couldn't beat Arsenal now for a fourth time. And deep down, I'm telling you this, maybe this is why Arsenal would have won that game. If we had 11 men on, we were better. We were more physical.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
We would have. And deep down,
you think there's no wood about it.
Okay.
You think
they were completely rattled. Okay, but all I'm gonna say, the final thing is have you ever seen Man City players rattled the way they were with Liverpool, where Klopp and Pep were hugging each other?
Yeah.
Where it was.
Do you know what was bad? They were that rattled and they still equalised.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they equalized because we played.
But have you ever seen them that rattled before?
They still couldn't beat us, Dan. They still couldn't beat us.
But they were that rattled.
Can I give you one game where they were this rattled? But it was more to do with the refereeing decision. But when we played them last season 3-3, when the referee stopped the Jack Grealish counter, I don't know if you remember, like 94th minute, and they absolutely lost their shit. But I think it was more of like, them losing the shit because of the refereeing decision rather than
Michael, maybe you're right. But I just want to point that out. Every single Man City player almost gave an interview after that game. I just want to point that out. Every single Man City player gave an interview complaining about the way Arsenal played, complaining about, Bernardo Silva, patted Liverpool on the back for being losers.
You're right, but at the end of the day, Stefan, we all know that Man City don't even come out of second gear until March, April.
Okay,
so it's all
let's
irrelevant
see.
to
Hey,
me.
wait, Dan. Let's see if they can come out of second gear without arguably their best player and a player they cannot replace. They don't have a replacement.
Okay.
Let's see.
I get what you're saying.
Let's talk about Qarabag.
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah, and let Ian have his go. Let Ian have his moment. You know what I mean?
Okay, let's see.
Good evening. It's Tuesday, isn't it? Yeah, just about. Well, we got away with that one today, didn't we? Thank God they didn't have strikers.
Yeah. Ian, do you think Archie Gray was man of the match? Because I was on another stream, told me that Ian Archie Gray was man of the match.
I thought
Bloody
I'll come to Archie Gray in a minute. I thought Van der Ven was man of the match, closely followed by Vicario, who I thought was superb tonight. I mean, that tackle when Davis sold him short, he made 10 yards up on the bloke. It was a perfect tackle. It was and the save at the end where he tipped that shot. He must have seen that the last minute over the bar. Fantastic. He's one of the best shot stoppers in the Premier League.
Oh, without a doubt.
Terrific.
The rest of it, he's shaky, isn't he?
No, he got the crosses today. He punched. He took one out.
No, I meant overall.
No, I disagree, Dan. I think he had a couple of very shaky moments at the weekend, but apart from that, listen. We asked the other day, can you remember, you look at Onana, for example, balls spill out of his hand, they go under his body. You never see that with Vicario. He does not give goals away.
He did it in his last game.
When?
He went to catch the ball and it went straight to his bloody
I'm talking about, I just said he had a couple of dodgy moments, but apart from that, he doesn't give goals away, does he? You don't see the ball slip under his body or through his fingers or anything.
That's true, Ian. That's true. But he is. I would say this season he is involved in much more nervy moments, like against Brentford, where that was the clear. And then I think he almost got the ball stolen. He got the ball stolen off his feet, and then they had a shot which they could have scored. So yeah, you're right. Compared to Onana, his mistakes don't lead to literally goals like with Onana. I do agree with that. His glaring mistakes.
You see, Onana, when he was at Inter Milan, he weren't far off perfect. He was that good at Inter Milan, and that season he had with them was.
Inter has a better defense in front of him.
I think generally Inter are 10 times the team that United is currently.
Yeah. Well,
let's be honest.
He had Bastoni. He had
The
Dutch boy,
De
Vries there.
And there were three of them. But who was the other boy that we went for? Spurs were looking at
Hakimi.
No. Hakimi was in.
Ashley Young, a left wing back.
Yeah, it's Perisic left wing back.
No, but I'm just saying, in Italy, Onana was quality, and then he came over here and he just
fell to pieces. And Ian was talking, but this is a perfect segue because it's to you. And I'll put this up. Clearly, after the red card, I actually feel bad for him. And they showed another. It almost looked like he was tearing up. Because this is just a second still shot, but the 5-second still shot, it looked like he was actually tearing up. That's Bergvall, someone that people want to see. We'll get to Mikey Moore. Felt bad. Like I almost thought I was like, man, take out Sara Basuma, one of them, because I want to see Bergvall play. So my thoughts is, does Bergvall have a right to be upset? Do you feel bad? Like, Ian?
I thought the decision to bring Udogie on was a strange one because he should have brought Porro on, push Gray into centre back, push Mickey across to play in his natural position, and then Davis on the left.
I don't agree with that.
Why would you put Gray in centre back when he was dead after 20 minutes?
He wasn't dead. I disagree. He wasn't dead. I've got to tell you, Dan. He had a mix of a game. He had a real mix. He was very good and very poor, I thought. And he had a terrific player up against him. I mean, they didn't have that much Qarabag, but the number 11 was excellent.
They had to bring on Kulu to cover his ass because he got run round so many times in the first half. He was the only one that was giving away trouble. He lost that ball countless times, and he was absolutely
I've got to tell you
knackered.
something. Dan, you've got an agenda against Archie Gray.
The midfield, Ian. Like, was he? Because I heard all summer, okay, he's the next Lampard, the next, you know.
He's a midfield player. I don't know what he's doing playing him right back. It's
so why would you put him a centre back then?
Well, he played because you've got no one else. Who else have you got? Romero's not there. We've got no one else.
Ben Davies as centre back. He's probably more experienced centre back than Archie Gray does.
Well,
Ian, I actually have to, and it's not because like agendas or whatever, right? Because I think people are going way over the board with Archie Gray performance, but I also don't think it was as like trash as like it wasn't like trash, right? But because I think he had a tough job of like he was getting doubled up on and whatever, right? But I think it's more natural to put like Davies as a center back because he is a center back, right? Even though I don't rate him, right? But still his trait is to be a center back. Whereas like Gray, I think would have felt more natural as a right back, right? Where we kept him. So
I think what Gray's got to do. Gray is too square on when he's facing up a left winger. He's got to be
because he's
got to be
right?
no. He's got to be sideways on. He's got to be on his toes. He was beaten too easily. He was good on the ball, but his defending tonight wasn't great.
Wait. I have respect for you, Ian. I have really huge respect for you. But the thing is, though, I can't do this when I said he needs experience next to him, or don't put him in that position. And we put him in that position, so now we're judging him. Yeah. And the thing is, though, I'm not going to give him any probs on this because the club are putting him in that position saying we don't need any midfielders because we were impressed with Archie Gray and Burval. So by that statement, they are ready. They are ready, in my opinion.
But that was PR, Alex. You know.
Oh, no, but unfortunately,
Alex,
you die by the sword by what you're saying this.
Well,
because you put them in that position.
Let's go back to Bergvall.
It's not his fault. It's not his fault that he's stuck at right back when he's a midfield player. And secondly,
but hang on a minute.
Players like Gray and Bergvall.
Let me see what he says.
Players like Gray and Bergvall, you've got to ease into the team.
Yeah,
but I get
Bergvall. Like today,
I get you what you're saying, though, Ian. I get what you're saying, but the club should have put somebody experienced.
Alex, isn't it?
Yeah, but unfortunately, they put them in that position, right? And unfortunately for me, they're either going to sink or swim. And unfortunately,
but Alex,
I've got no patience anymore, right?
Alex, we are fans. Hang on, if you're a fan and you know a little bit about football, then you know the club are talking shit, don't you?
I know they're doing.
You know that. We all know that. We all know that.
But unfortunately, you don't put stupid statements out like that. So then you're sitting there saying to me,
but they always do, Alex.
But you don't put stupid statements like that. So now you're saying to us, okay, so Archie Gray and Bergvall are ready then. So,
but Alex,
if they're doing mistakes.
Wait, Alex,
Alex, the club are shit at PR. Their PR has always been appalling. I mean, just a small thing. Just go back with Wembley. You know, they couldn't even keep the fans up to speed on what was going on with the new ground and how long it's going to take. You know, it was the PR from the club is dreadful. The PR with the senior citizens, dreadful. You know, the PR with David Pleat and the book, dreadful. Their PR is awful. We know that.
But Ian, sorry to interrupt, but you also have a very similar example. I remember 2 or 3 years ago when Skip was kind of in the team. I remember reading the same PR saying that Skip is the coaches at Spurs believe Skip is going to be a future captain at Spurs. Mourinho thinks he's a star. They do this bullshit every single time. And that's not only Spurs. That's not only Spurs. Chelsea do it now a lot of the time where they say, "Oh, we believe that this player is gonna be a superstar, yet he never plays," or something like that. So Alex, why are you surprised at the fact that they have leaked this conveniently I think it was on the last day of the transfer window or right after the window ended. Because people were disappointed. Because people were disappointed.
Yeah. The amusing thing was one thing quick. Just one thing I want to put on this quick here. The one thing I do find amusing about this is people going on and on and on that we're giving him crap and whatever. How about you listen? No one's giving him crap. No one's calling him a see you next Tuesday and everything.
No.
We're just, a lot of us are just saying, no. I'm talking about a few others.
Mm-hmm.
And people are trying to defend him because he's a young lad, like they did with Johnson and that. Well, at the end of the day, you're getting paid 10, 20 grand a week. You're in a man's game, man up, only you can fix it. Same as Johnson. With Gray, he's not ready for the Premiership. He needs to be loaned out and he needs more game experience. He's probably going to come great. But then others were saying today as well that I noticed on chats and on other shows, yeah, but you can't grill him even though he was basically completely out of breath after 20 minutes where he got cooked so hard on the right-hand side where he had no backup, but it did look better with Kulu there. Yeah, but we played him out of position. He's a centre mid. Oh, right, is he? But I thought he was quality at Leeds as a right back. Make your minds up, people.
Okay.
I've got to tell you, I must just say one thing. Was it the second goal or the third? Lovely back flick from Gray to Kulu to set him off.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pure class.
Right. No, you can see, Ian, you can see he has talent. The issue for me is okay, he has talent. Like, for example, from my own club perspective, look at how Arsenal are slowly integrating our two best youngsters, which are Ethan and
we should be doing with him what you did with Saliba.
Yeah, exactly.
We're doing. No, I wouldn't say we're doing a similar kind of career path to the way Phil Foden was brought into the fold in Man City, which is we're slowly playing Ethan Nwaneri, where he's being mentored by Odegaard, as the player at his current. He plays as a number 10 mostly and a number 8. So we're slowly ingraining him into the squad, just like we are with the left back, Miles Lewis-Skelly.
So can we answer the question about Bergvall, right? Because we're trying to slowly implement him, right? Because he is, maybe out of all of them, probably the most talented, right? Clearly, he's upset when he got taken off because of the red card. This was probably 22 minutes later when he got taken off after the red card. Clearly, you can see he's upset. But other than that, he's played 5-6 minutes. Does he have a right to be upset? What did you guys think about the whole Bergvall?
Can I think it was the right decision to take him off, not because of his performance, but because someone had to come off, right? You have to shore up the defense, right? Ange may be naive, but he's not that naive to leave 3 defenders, right, on the pitch. So someone had to come off. And I personally think that it's had to be someone from the front 6. So you have 2 holding mids, let's call them, right, for the East, and you have the front 3. And for me, the least important, in my opinion, place on that pitch was his position. I feel like we needed the double pivot guys, or the holding mids, or however you want to call them, to provide the defensive cover, and Bissouma and Sarr do that, right? And I felt like we changed the game to go not necessarily through the midfield, but go more direct to the wings, and the front 3 sorted itself out, right? So I think purely because of how we wanted to approach the game, it had to be him that comes off, not because of his own faults, as I say. And I honestly feel bad for the guy, right? Because when we knew that we are playing Qarabag, in the Europa League, I assumed we will win against them, because I've watched them playing against other teams, and I thought that we are better than them. Let's not put ourselves that down, right? We are better than them. So I honestly had hope that he will get plenty of important minutes today. And I was hoping to see him play, but unfortunately, due to Dragosin's mistake, he was the one to be taken off, right? And as I said, I feel bad for the guy, but he shouldn't take like blame himself for being taken off, right? And I hope somebody explains it to them, or he even knows. Like, I think he knows it himself that he had to be the one to be taken off, right? But I hope someone talks him through it. And he shouldn't be feeling down over it, right? That's the way I see it. He's young. That there will be plenty of time to
No, I
impress.
disagree. He should be feeling down. That shows me that he cares. That shows me that.
Sorry, Stefan, I meant like in the long term. Like, it shouldn't be he just hides in the shell right now and stops playing.
I totally get
that,
that.
right?
Yeah. But that's good. That shows me that
that's
he
good.
really
That's
wants
good
to
that
play.
he felt bad, right?
Yeah, like I don't want to see him being subbed in the 8th minute and him laughing and smiling like Garnacho or any of the Man United players that I've seen numerous times when they get just laughing whilst they're losing 3-4-0. For me,
it was a real shame. It was a real shame because tonight was a perfect opportunity for Bergvall. But I'm sure he'll play him next Thursday in Hungary.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough game, guys. That side, Ferencváros, they're a very seasoned European side. They're always in the Europa League. They're a good side. That's going to be a tough game. It's not going to be easy. I warn you guys.
Is in the house. You was at the game. Your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, big up everyone. Hope you all guys are all good. Hello to everyone in the chat.
Still, you got back okay then. They closed the A10 at the Great Cambridge on the way back.
I was traffic there, traffic back. I've been in traffic for 3 hours today, and I live 5 minutes from the ground. It's unbelievable. But anyway, do you know? I don't know what to make of the game because there's a lot of good, but there's a lot of not so good. So the good, we won with 10 men. I know Qarabag aren't the greatest team, but they did okay last season in Europe, and we had a second team stroke first team mix out. So to win with 10 men was really good. You can't knock that. Also, I thought Archie Gray grew into the game. He was definitely better the last 20 minutes than as the game went on. I thought he got better.
I thought he was knackered, mate.
No, I agree with Stel. He was better in the second half than in the first one, but that's partially because Kulusevski was on the pitch to help him.
Exactly. Yeah. Kulu.
Let me finish my point. Right. I personally thought he grew into the game as it went on, but he was up against opposition that allowed him to as well. Let's be honest. Okay. I also thought that it's good that we've got Johnson, Solanke, Sarr scoring goals because we've got Man United next and it gives them a bit more confidence. That's another positive. And at the end of the day, man, look, you need to win. If we're going to progress in this competition, we have to win, and we won. So they're the good points. My issue with this game is that if they had finishers, we were fucked, right? Let's have it right. Yeah. If they had finishers, we were in trouble in this game. The second issue I had is I would not have taken Bergvall off. I would have taken either Son, Solanke, or Johnson off. Yes, I know two of them scored, but Bergvall needs to develop and he needs to progress. And I would have, it's my opinion, right? I know we're all going to disagree. I would have kept him on. To take him off after 7 minutes, just take off an established player that you're going to start against Man United. You're going to start Son, Solanke, and Son. Let them rest for the weekend instead, because we know Bergvall's not going to start. So I would have definitely not taken him off. And the third thing is, listen, I'm going to share the tweet back online. During the Euros, I put a tweet out and I said it on this show. Dragusin in a high line is a nightmare. He's great in the air. He's great at short recovery, and I think he's a decent defender. But if you're going to play him in a high line, we are fucked. Mm-hmm. We saw against Newcastle. We saw against Newcastle. We saw when he played for Romania against Belgium what Lukaku and De Bruyne did. Tonight is a further example. Anyone with pace on this guy from the halfway line, he doesn't suit the system. He can't play a high line. I've been saying it for a while. So they're the three negatives. Overall, look, it wasn't a great game, but we won it. If we play like that again against a team that's got finishers, we're in trouble. But I expect us to play with 11 men next time. So you know, I'm like this with the game. There's good points, there's bad points. We won it. We won
the
it.
other thing also still was, I mean, the amount of times we failed to control with our first touch was the worst I'd seen for ages. And going back to what Dan said about
we didn't play great. We didn't play great. We didn't. Going back to what Dan said about Gray being knackered, the guy needs match fitness. You can see he's not match fit. You can see he's rusty.
100%.
He's hardly played. He's hardly played.
Yeah.
So, you know, and yeah, there's no cover. The way we play, I mean, you want to hear the phone calls coming in on with Cundy and O'Hara on the way home from the game. I mean, just talking about Angie's kamikaze style of defending, even with 10 men.
It's bonkers.
It's just ridiculous.
Bonkers. Do you know who the best player on the pitch today was?
Bonkers.
Do you know who the best player on the pitch was today? He was
Van
brilliant.
Van de Ven.
No. Yeah. From start. Well, if you think Van de Ven, fair play. From start to finish, Vicario was top draw tonight.
He's shit. Like, come on. After Monday, he's trash.
Tonight.
The guy can save a penalty. He's
and you guys pasted him the other day, didn't you? He's a great keeper.
Oh, guys, why can't you critique somebody?
Do I think he's Lloris 2.0? Yes, but tonight, this one-off game, I thought he was our best player tonight. Vicario, I thought.
And our worst player.
I can't win.
Guys, can we?
Guys, can we?
No, the elephant in the room is probably Son. He was almost like.
But wait, Mari, add.
He was almost like
player, Mari. I thought he was also terrible. Wait. Add another established player. I thought he was also terrible. And people say I have an agenda against him. I thought Bissouma tonight was horrendous.
Me too.
I thought he was terrible.
Yeah, he didn't.
I thought he had a good game until he gave away the penalty. I thought he had a pretty solid game.
Was that a penalty, by the way?
Dan, he's leaving.
I couldn't tell from where I was
his positional sense.
What happened was his foot was there basically. He got the side of his foot.
Horrendous.
He got the side of the foot and went through it and got the ball. He barely touched the fella's foot, but he did touch the foot first.
Fair enough. Okay.
I think
it was weak.
I think the guy that went through was really. I think the guy that went through was really cheeky, right? Because he threw the foot to the side, which basically he kind of initiated the impact, let's call it, right? But from I think it was a penalty because he clearly clipped him, right? But I don't think he meant to clip him. It's just the guy threw the foot
I must
to the
say,
side and it hit him, right? So that's the way I look at it. It was soft as hell, but
yeah.
So let's go back.
The fans did their bit.
It was really soft.
Was waiting to take the penalty. I mean, I thought the fans were superb.
Yeah. Let's go back.
Fans were good tonight, considering it was a game that was meh.
That's the hot topic. Is Son knackered? What's going on, Son? It was almost like he was a ghost. Like he had that one shot, it was blocked. I was like, oh, he has some space, but it was blocked by the Qarabag defender. But it's like almost like Stel says, Solanke and Son can't really play together. You were at the game, Stel. What did you think about Son? And mind you, SofaScore gave him a 7.1 today. But
Mari, the problem is we had 10 men, right?
7.1.
So we didn't really have many attacking plays like we've been used to, where we push teams back. We were playing more counter attack because Qarabag were onto us, right? So I thought Son. There's moments he should have released the ball when he didn't. And there's times where I thought he should have taken a shot and he didn't. But again, for me, Solanke, a bit of good hold-up play. But when he got put through one-on-one, he missed. The goalie made an easy save. And then it wasn't until...
Hang on. Still, Son should have put him in much sooner. He put him out so that he was wider and he had a tougher angle. Yes, he should have finished, but the Son delayed the pass.
That was a good pass. That was a good
I don't.
pass,
Listen,
Ian.
I don't.
Why?
I
He
don't
had
know. I
plenty
need.
of
I need. I
space.
need to watch it again. I need to watch it again.
Watch it
But
again. If he puts him in a couple of seconds earlier, he's literally got the whole goal in front of him. But he put him wide because he held off and held off.
See, I tell you what. This Sunday is going to be very interesting because we're actually playing a team that isn't bad. Man United defensively have been okay this season. They've not been too bad, and they are creating.
Stop it, Stell.
No, they haven't been bad defensively, dude. They haven't.
Yeah.
Their problem, Man United's problem is I think they've created the most chances missed in the league this season, right? Their problem is their front line is just absolutely all over the place. So I want to see what we do against Man United. What does Son, Solanke, Maddison, Johnson do against United? Because for me, this will be a good gauge if we're actually going forward or not. Because against Arsenal and Newcastle, we and Leicester, we were toothless up front. So I'm looking more at this weekend more than any other game because Man United is fair game. This game is fair game, by the way. We're both on 7 points. We're both mid-table.
No,
Let's see what we do. You know, I don't think you can judge this game, Ian. It's
but
difficult.
The amusing thing is Sava was saying on his show earlier about how everyone's saying Man U are shit and loads of people on the side saying they played absolutely shit and everything else. But that's what a lot of people are saying.
They're not great.
But they're in exactly the same position. I know. They're in exactly the same position we are.
That's what I think.
Basically.
That's why I said fair game.
Yeah.
Fair game.
Yeah. And I'm just saying that he basically said the same thing. It's going to be an interesting game because we're pretty much both on the same level now.
Yeah. By the way,
you just don't know who's going to turn up. You know what tactics use, but it's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah. Still, I've got a question for you. A week ago, we had a conversation about who was going to finish, who was going to score more goals, Son or Solanke. Son was 2-0 up at the time. It's now 2-2. What do you think? Do you still think Son will score more than Solanke?
I was talking about Premier League, not nothing else.
Oh, okay.
No, because the reason is the reason is Ian. I don't know what players he's going to pick for Europa, what games he's going to pick for Carabao Cup. Whereas I know in the league he's always going to play Son, Solanke. He's going to start them both pretty much every game.
Right. I don't mind. Listen, I gave you 2 goal start. Okay, it's 1 now then.
Son
He'll still finish ahead.
Son will be our top scorer this season, Mark, in the league, 100%.
No, Solanke, providing he stays fit.
But
I will see.
But guys, you finished above Man United last year. Do I agree with Stowe that Man United are better than Brentford and Coventry, and they're a much more kind of accurate, test in terms of where you guys are? Yeah, but the only thing that worries me is that
they played in Europe.
Man United
Stefan, they played in Europe.
Okay. But
they've done better than Arsenal for 2 years on the trot.
Okay, Dan. Yeah, finishing 8th last year. Okay, but they're
they've got
better than that.
They've got silverware and you've got nothing.
No, finish your point. Don't get derailed.
Don't get him started, Dan.
It's fine. It's fine.
But they can't be that bad if they've won trophies back to back, can they? It's better than what we've done.
That's true. That's true. I'm sure.
Chelsea have done lately.
Okay. But I just to finish my point before I bite. I just think that the only thing Man United can do really well, the issue that I have is the only thing they can do really well is your glaring weakness, which is balls over the top to Rashford and on the counter. That's the only thing that makes me think Old Trafford.
You're probably going to
go
tonight 4 times. Qarabag did it.
But you were. But it's a bit different because you were with 10 men. But with
doesn't matter.
Man United,
we still had 4 across the back. Stefan, we still had 4 across the back though.
That's true.
Okay. And they were doing it down the left-hand side the whole time. But that's why we had to get Kulu on to cover Gray because he got cooked so many times.
That's true. That's okay. But that's true.
Well,
but
the first one was down the middle.
I can picture it exactly
between Son and Dragusin.
No, but I agree with you guys. But for me, I can just picture you guys outplaying Man United, you guys having more of the ball, and they're gonna win by one through ball or one ball over the top to Rashford. Because I just this line, I mean, if you're a coach and you're watching this, you're like, what are you doing? Like, I'm starting to think from naive that he's a moron, that he actually thinks that this system does work. Like, how can you watch tonight and think I need to play with this high line and it will actually work? Qarabag were breaking up. They had so much space. If they were a bit better, like Stel said, they would have scored at least. They should have scored at least one goal, at least. How can you watch it and think, okay, I'm not going to change anything? Yeah, and that's without the
They
me
were
and Dan
terrible.
spoke. There was
They were
one
terrible up front. They were shocking up front.
No, there was literally one chance they had, which was harder to miss than to score. The one that they crossed across.
He put it wide, didn't he?
Across the box.
Yeah, you'd have even bet on Werner
He had
putting
to
it
just.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how he missed. Sure.
Why did Werner come on ahead of Mikey Moore, by the way? What's that about? Why is Werner coming on ahead of Mikey Moore?
I'm Mikey Moore.
That pissed me off, you know. That pissed me off.
Yeah,
But guys, do you think he's purposefully doing that? It must mean that Timo Werner is better than Mikey Moore in training. He's not purposefully sabotaging the team by choosing to sub in Timo Werner over Mikey Moore.
No, he's just paying him 165 grand a week and has realised probably how shit he is and doesn't want to look like a dickhead for getting him in the second time.
I don't think, after watching that fan forum, guys,
Stefan,
Levy loves him.
Can I ask you
the
something?
Perfect guy.
Stefan, can I ask you something, right? You say in training, Werner, maybe he's better than Moore in training.
Yeah.
Does that mean the manager is ignoring the match day performances? Because that should count for a lot as well. Because match day, he's been awful.
No, still, I completely agree with you. But Arsenal fans last year had that same argument about Kai Havertz and Emil Smith-Rowe, which was, what is Arteta doing? Why doesn't he play Emil Smith-Rowe more? Well, in my opinion, Arteta, just like Ange, wants to win every game. So if Emil Smith-Rowe isn't performing in training...
Werner's not winning us games. Werner's not winning us games. He's costing us games. He nearly cost us against Coventry. He's one of the players that got pulled off.
So I agree. I don't see it, but I just don't think Ange is doing it on
Mikey Moore tonight. He made a clever move across the back line. Then he made a forward run to the right. If Son fed him in, Mikey Moore would have been in, but Son didn't play him in. You look at Mikey Moore's movement, you can tell he's actually got a brain. The kid's got a brain.
That's true.
He really has got a brain. So what? He can't. The manager can't see that. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah. I don't know, Stel. I just you don't, your club, since I would probably say since maybe Poch at the start, you just don't have a policy of playing really young players, especially in the Europa leagues or where it's not a
correct.
The
3-0 up. He should have brought on Mikey Moore and Lancashire. 3-0 up. He should have brought them both on and said, right, we're not losing this game. Go play, boys. That's what he should have done. He should have brought Mikey Moore on before Werner as well.
Okay. We're talking these players. Guys, can anybody explain to me, where was Spence?
He's not registered. You don't know. He's not registered into the squad.
He's not What? He's not registered?
No.
Yeah, we had a meltdown over it. Don't worry.
Because we wanted to register 4 goalkeepers instead.
What? So they basically lied to Spence that he's part of the plans then, because that's what Ange said. Yep. I remember.
No, what Ange made him was the 18th player, basically, because you can only have 17 players that are not homegrown or through the academy within 2 years, I think it is. And there were 17 players after the 6. There were 17 players that Ange put in front of Spence, unfortunately.
Yeah, but Ian, you know what the stupid thing is, right? So basically how it works, right? You have 17 players, as you mentioned, right? You have 4 spots for club trained, right? And you have 4 spots for homegrown, right? So in those 4 spots for homegrown, we have Fraser Forster.
Yeah.
And in the 4 spots where you have club trained players, you have 2 keepers, right? Because they are the only 2
that's
players
why
that we have, right? No, but the thing is, right? like we registered Austin and Whiteman, right? Because there was no point in not registering them, right? The spaces were there, right? But I honestly, I personally think that when we signed this like stupid extension with Fraser Forster, that there is a clause in his contract that he has to be like part of the squad or whatever, right? I think I honestly think it's as stupid as what I said, and they just included him in the squad in one of those 4 homegrown spots instead of Spence, who is also homegrown, right? So he could go there.
I don't think Spence is. I don't think Spence qualified.
He is. He is
qualified.
No, guys, you're wrong. To be homegrown, the player has to be club trained for at least 3 years, guys. He's not.
No, but no, Stefan. Club trained homegrown means he has to be associated with our club for 3 years, right?
Yes.
And homegrown means only on English soil, right? So he was part of Nottingham Forest and Middlesbrough, right? Ever since like he came through. So he's homegrown because like he's homegrown through Borough or
Spence qualifies for homegrown.
So he qualifies for homegrown,
why didn't he pick
but
him
not
then?
for the club trained.
This is why
I think Michael, you guys are. I think he needs to pick club trained homegrown players, not just homegrown. They need to be club trained.
So you have to have 4 club trained and 4 homegrown.
Do you know what I think's happened?
There is a distinction.
Do you know what I think's happened? Right, they bottled it by not getting rid of Fraser Forster. There is no place for this man at the club. He does not belong at Tottenham Hotspur. You've got Whiteman.
He's finished. He's finished.
Listen, you've got Whiteman, you've got Gunter, and you've got Austin. One of those young players is good enough to start in a Carabao Cup against Coventry. No doubt for me, right? Yeah. Keeping Fraser Forster at the club is a joke. There's no one that can defend that. With Werner, what I think's happened is we had to sign him if we wanted him by a certain period. I think it was by the end of May or the first week of June. Otherwise, we couldn't get him, or we'd have to buy him, or whatever it was. The deadline meant that he would be our first signing. What they should have done is said, he's not good enough. He will never be good enough. Don't sign him. But what they did was they said, you know what? We might need him. So they signed him, and then pre-season began. And in pre-season, the kids proved, actually, we can play football. And then it was a case of, oh, shit, maybe we should include the kids. Well, you've just put Werner in the squad, you idiots. If pre-season was before we signed Werner, I don't reckon Werner's at the club. So they've basically dug a hole for themselves. And now, they've, like you said, because they've paid so much money, they've got justified the salary. So he gets game time, which is now going to hurt game time for the kids.
Yeah, and that's Werner. And Forster is the same, right? Because we had homegrown issues. So they signed an extension in May, if I recall correctly. It was either May or June, right? Before the
kids played.
The transfer window started, right? So I think they signed an extension and they gave him when you do all those sign a contract and you have guaranteed game time and you have to be part of the squad or whatever, right? I think they gave him the second keeper role for this 1 year. That's why that's why they are contractually obliged to get him into the squad, right? I honestly think, as you said, Steph, they shut themselves with Werner and Forster, right? And this is why Werner is getting game time, and this is why Spence is not registered, which is I don't rate Spence, right? Don't get me wrong, but
Michael, we're not ruthless. We're not ruthless as a club. We're not ruthless.
So you guys think that just because you're paying Timo Werner 160K and just putting him on for the sake of
185K.
Okay, whatever. He's paying him. He's paying him big bucks. He's paying him big bucks. So just because of this, and just playing him, even though he thinks he's shit, and even though he thinks Mikey Moore is better.
Yes, and I'll tell you why. Because we're paying him that much money.
Yeah,
Levy is saying, "Don't you dare get that player into the team and not play," even though his Andrew's blatantly picked him. So he's got to do it, because if he don't do it, Angie's going to look like the complete dickhead completely for signing him for the second time for that amount of money. And Levy's going to be extremely pissed with him for paying that sort of wages and the player not showing time on the pitch. He's got to do it. He's got to.
I want to, because I got to go, I want to throw up this question. It was very split on the Paramount coverage and this question I'm going to pose is the Europa easier route for Champions League for Tottenham? And it was split. Half of the commentators were saying, well, the Europa may be just the easier route for Spurs to qualify for Champions League. The other half was saying, no, it's the league. And it was saying that, there's a possibility fifth could still get you Champions League. So after the first Champions League game tonight, is the Europa the easier route for Tottenham?
Definitely, 100%. You haven't got City, you haven't got Arsenal, you haven't got Liverpool, you haven't got Villa, you haven't got Chelsea, you haven't got Newcastle in that competition.
And Man United. Oh yeah, Man United are in the competition. Yeah.
You've got United, Porto, Ajax, Sociedad that are probably the main people.
Roma, Lazio,
Frankfurt. Aren't Frankfurt in it?
Yeah, Frankfurt. Olympique Lyon.
I think we've got. I genuinely think 8 games. If we get into the last 16, you've got 16, 8, 4. You've got 15 games, unless we get into a playoff. So you've got 15 or 17 games against 38. I definitely think, we got no chance of winning the league. We're so far off, but we do have a chance of winning the Europa.
But we don't have to win the league to get into Champions League, right? You only have to be top 5. So,
no, but
the reason why I don't necessarily agree that Europa League is easier to get.
I don't think we're getting top 5, Michael.
I don't either.
You don't?
No,
you don't.
I am still on the debatable part, right?
So wait,
you know what I'm sure of?
Not the way we defend against top teams.
I'm sure that I'm supporting Tottenham Hotspur, and it involves winning the Europa League. Like, we have to win a trophy to get into the Champions League, right? That's why I'm not necessarily sure that
listen, Spurs will qualify, right? Out of these 8 games, we will qualify normal. We're not
definitely, right? But
when we get to the knockout games, though, as soon as it goes to knockout, I don't care who we're playing, whether it's Partick Thistle or whether it's Real Sociedad, right? I don't care who we play. He must play the best 11 every knockout game.
But
otherwise, one of these teams will pick us off.
But still, not only the best 11, he must adjust the tactics when you go away, when you're home. He must make little changes.
Against certain teams, you're right. Yes, he does. He does.
Because I'm sorry, I know they're not as good as, let's say, when teams would drop down from the Champions League. But if you go away to Real Sociedad, they have some quality players. They will punish you with
Roma can punish us. Man United. Man United are in this competition, right? Man United can punish us.
There's the table so far after one game.
Ian, that is the smallest looking table. Let me get it up.
Bless him, Ian. Bless him, Ian.
On it.
We are.
But wait. I want to ask Stella and Ian. You guys say you won't get in the top 5. Which teams get ahead of you currently?
Okay, City, Arsenal, Liverpool are going to be way clear of everybody else. I think Villa and Chelsea probably will be ahead of us. Yep,
Chelsea.
Oh yes,
Stefan. Chelsea don't have Europe. They've got that Conference Cup, which they haven't even put Cole Palmer in that team for the squad.
Can I just ask you something quickly? You at the game, weren't you? Yeah. I hope you got. I hope you got there safely, by the way, because it's so much. Oh my gosh, I was there earlier. I was there in Tottenham earlier. It's awful traffic. I've got to be honest.
It was dreadful, Alex, wasn't it?
It was awful. What was your take on Archie Gray? Because I heard he was the man of the match. I was told in the football.
You're starting again, aren't you? You're starting again, Alex.
No, don't start it again. We already went over.
I just had to ask Stelios. I just had to ask Stelios because he was there.
I said I thought he got better as the game went on, and I thought the last 20 minutes for me was was his best part of the game. I thought he just stood his ground, but he was playing against Qarabag, and their front line were a joke. So, but definitely he grew into the game. Do I think he was man of the match? No, Vicario all day long. All day long, Vicario was my man of the match.
Fair enough, then.
I don't think Archie Gray was terrible tonight. No way. He did all right.
Really?
But look,
yeah, I don't think he was terrible, right? But I
first
also think
first half, right? He got caught a few times, but you're in a back line where Dragusin's gone off. You've now got Ben Davis moved to centre back. We know he's absolute crap in the high line, and then you've got Udogie on the other side, who I don't think Udogie had the best of games. I just think he's in a makeshift defence, so he's going to get caught out. But as the game went on, I thought he got better. Do I think Archie Gray is ready for Premier League football? No way. No. No. Not yet.
No. Fair enough.
People still think you're slagging him off when you say that. It's not.
No,
a few of us
no,
do not think he's prepared. No, a lot of people do.
Ian, we're not having a go at you, Ian.
Compare Archie Gray. Compare Archie Gray to Pedro Porro. I think there's a big gap there, and Pedro Porro is the level we need for Premier League.
I've got to tell you something. Still, I think Spence should be our second choice. I know he couldn't play tonight. For me, Spence is our second choice right back, not Archie Gray.
Yeah, but you know what, Ian? Do you know what I think he's doing? I think he's playing Archie Gray's right back because normally we invert the right backs into midfield, and because Archie Gray can play midfield, it suits him better. I think that's why he's doing it. But the problem is, he's got to play him in games. He's got to play him in games where we invert the fullbacks.
He inverted him enough times, and that's when they come down the side about 3 or 4 times just in the first half. And
we always get caught, but we always get caught when we invert.
I know.
All right, guys, I'm out.
See you.
Make sure you don't shut the stream down, though.
Murray, I'll keep it running for a bit if you want.
Yeah.
By the way, how was the hurricane? Did you survive? Obviously, you survived.
No, the light flickered a couple of times, so I actually thought I was going to lose power. It hasn't happened yet, but it's so.
Mate,
yeah.
Just so in case people don't understand, I called up Mari earlier. I said, Mari, can you do the show tonight because I'm going to be at the game and I might not get back in time. He goes, yeah, no problem, as long as I've got power. I said, what? The electrician's coming around. Is there a problem? He goes, no, we got a Category 4 hurricane hitting Florida, so I might not have any power. Hurricane. What?
Just saying, guys, I also survived the natural catastrophe, right?
Because we got a Category 4 hurricane. He said it so casually. Yeah, you know. So
yeah, I guess that's what living in Florida.
But that's normal, isn't it? Okay. Like you go to Texas with the tornadoes and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. All right, guys.
See you, Mari. Bye-bye.
Like it's only a tornado. It usually only kills about 4 people, so we should be all right.
There's your league table.
Where's United?
Yeah, they got 1 point.
In the middle, they drew. Right?
20th.
Yeah.
So was it the top 8 go through, and then the next what? The next 16 go
top 8 go through. Next 16 play a playoff, right, between each other. So like 9th will play with 24th, 10th with 23rd, and all that, right? And the winner of that playoff goes into the round of 16.
How many games do we play? How many games do we play in this?
So we play 8 games in the league phase, right?
8.
And if you play in the top, if you end up in the top 8 of the league, you don't have to play a playoff, right? So we are through to round of 16. And if you end up between 9th to 24th, you have to play 2 games more. So
I reckon. Right? I reckon 5 to 6 wins gets you in the top 8.
Yeah. I think 6 wins definitely, and I think 5 that depends on the goal differences and how other teams do, right? But if you look at our the draws that we got, right? We have at home we have AZ Alkmaar, we have Elfsborg, and we have Roma, right? Roma will be a tough game, but I expect us to win the other 2, right? And away, we go to Hoffenheim, Ferencváros. We go away to
Galatasaray and Rangers.
And Rangers.
Do you know what? I think these results in Europe are all going to come down to what kind of defence he fields, right? If he fields a makeshift defence, I think any team we play that's got a couple of decent forwards, it's game on.
Well, that was a problem today, wasn't it? Because Qarabag had loads of chances, didn't they?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I have to say, guys, right? I wonder how this game would go if you were with 11 men, right? Because it started really well, right? And then, let's be honest, by the way, like the reason Dragusin got a red card wasn't necessarily because he got pressed, because his touch was shit, right? Like I don't know what this guy did with the ball, right?
He lost quality touch, didn't he? He let the ball on his foot, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he touched it with his wrong foot and let it go through him, right? And the guy just caught up with pace. But I wonder if Qarabag would have created as much as they did if we were playing with 11 men, right?
True.
Well, I think they would have, because we still went to a back four and we still had
but we had one less person in the midfield, right? We had one less person in the midfield, so it was way easier for them to pass out of the back to the midfield and then just lamp a ball forwards, right? If we had one more body in there, I think.
But you see, Michael, when you go down to 10 men, you've got to become more compact out of possession.
Yeah, but we didn't.
Right, so it's the tactic.
That's my point. I think with 11 men, we would have dominated the game more, right? So,
Michael,
by the way, I agree with you guys. We are way too open and all that stuff. I just think
I still want to give us praise, though. I still give us praise. We played 85 minutes with 10 men and we won 3-0. We can't just dismiss that. We can't.
I'm not dismissing it. I'm not dismissing it, but I'm not ignoring what I saw today as well. That's what I'm saying. I'm critiquing it in what I saw.
Yeah, if they had forwards, it was game over. If they had forwards,
that's the thing. But I have gave us credit because we didn't concede. No.
Yeah, too right, Alex.
But
I mean, that was our 5th clean sheet in 30 games, for God's sake. Give them credit where it's due.
Yeah, I'll give it credit where I'll give. I love you, Dad. But the point is, I do give him credit for doing that. But there's going to be harder test one. I still don't rate that front three. I still don't rate Johnson because I think Johnson I think he's doing well for what he's doing. I do see what Solanke's doing because the Smatic explained it to me that he's like a sacrificial lamb. Kind of just like the guy that body trying to, hold up the ball and trying to get Son and Johnson into play. And you saw that for the first goal. And you see that for the third goal as well, to be fair, as well. He scored from the tap-in as well. So I see why he's bought, but I still don't rate the midfield. I think Van der Ven, I'm a bit embarrassed now. I said that Dragusin was a better defender than him because I think, he's a good defender, but I think Van der Ven he's performing. He's been faultless, and Vicario, that's one player I can't really have a go at, to be honest with you. Yes, he's not great, as a ball playing goalkeeper, but as a goalkeeper shot stopping, he's absolutely fantastic. I can't lie, you know what I mean? And this is the second season. Let's be honest here, it's going to be difficult this season to top what he did last season. You know what I mean? So he's got to be better, So yeah, but I still feel that there's still problems in this team because I don't rate. The
Man United game, Alex. The Man United game will tell us a lot. I actually can't wait for United and Brighton away because this will tell me exactly what is going on. I can't wait for these games because it's going to give me answers. And right now, all I've got is a theory and I've got the facts of the past. Let's see right now. I'm looking forward to these games. I want to see what Spurs show me.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
You're all right, mate.
Hello. Can I give my quick thoughts just quickly?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say that honestly, I don't feel bad for players in general, but Bergvall, I honestly feel bad for the kid. He doesn't deserve it. It should have been sorry, in my opinion. Gray I'm sorry again to tell you, but Gray's he's a waste of money. Not good enough to get Spurs. Dragusin too. I don't blame him for the red card. He just doesn't fit the system. Bissouma had a phenomenal game. I'll give it that to him, except the penalty, but whatever.
Oh,
No.
He had a really good game. I thought he had a quality game. Well, one of his better.
It's shocking how different the view is, right? Because like we aren't in the middle. Like some of us say he was shocking, and some of us say he was brilliant. It's like
Michael,
he didn't have an excellent game, but I thought he was good. I thought he was definitely one of the better ones.
I really don't like Bissouma, but honestly, for his game, he bossed the midfield. But at the same time, they were not good enough.
Yeah.
Ben Davis, he's a waste of space. Honestly, I don't know why we give him a kid number. This guy should be just he should just clean the toilets at this point. Solanke, I don't rate the guy. I think he's a waste of money too. I don't know what good he done except the goal. Did nothing right.
What? Are you serious? Are you serious?
Other than a hold-up play, he couldn't dribble past the player.
Christ.
Couldn't shoot. Son is done for me. Should be sold. It's time to go. Couldn't beat his man. Couldn't do anything. And freaking Ange, honestly, I swear you're the worst manager in my life. The fact that you gave Werner minutes over more, I don't know what you said.
Dietrich, right? I agree with half of what you've said, but don't you think you're being way too harsh? Like way too harsh.
No. If it was Man United, you can say I've been harsh, but this team is not good enough. We played against. They missed a penalty and a freaking open goal. Bro, they're not good, man. You can't even beat a defense that would nobody.
Yeah, their front line. But we said tonight their front line wasn't good. We've said it, but we were still down to 10 men for 90 minutes.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. You're a man down, Dietrich. You can't ignore that.
You're playing against a team that's not good enough. You're top 6.
Which is why we won 3-0. Right?
Yeah, we won 3-0, but at the same time, you look at Solanke, you're like, you should be bossing the defense. You should have destroyed.
Can I ask you something then? Let me ask something. Do you think when we went down to 10 men that whether it's down to tactics or down to the quality of the players or because they had extra man, I felt we struggled to get up the pitch like we've normally done in other games. I felt we struggled and we were depending more on counter-attacking plays.
Yeah. Fair comment.
Yeah, we are down to 10 men, right? That's obvious for me that we had issues with that, right?
Yeah, but 10 men should not make a big difference against a team that you can't even name one player on the other side.
We say Dietrich, we say they're rubbish, but the fact they got in the fact they got into us so many times means they did have something about them.
No, we just didn't defend properly, that's why.
Or just our defense is that shit.
Yeah, the defense was that shit.
I thought their midfield passing and their midfield play wasn't bad at all. I think their play from the halfway line to the final third was actually quite good. I thought the last bit they were awful. Like the last bit they were. Yeah,
they had the number 10 for their team. He actually did well. Like when it came to passing wise and just breaking.
This is what I mean. So like they're not as bad as what you're making them out to be.
No. Except that point. But when you look at, for example, players like Solanke, which we paid 65 million against a defense that nobody knows. You should be at least going after them and just dribble past them. Every time he had the ball, he lost possession.
Yeah, but Dietrich, this is what I'm saying to you. Do you think we got the ball forward enough times for our forward attack to actually do more, other than the 3 goals they scored?
I feel like we did.
That's fair enough. I'm asking the question. This night.
We controlled possession. We actually gave they had so many chances to actually beat their man. Nobody did it. Do you know how many times Johnson had a chance to beat his man 1v1 and he passed it back?
No, I agree. There were times when the wide players should have taken on players and they didn't. But that's every week, though. We see that all the time.
No, but like you're playing against a weak team and you can't even beat them, even Solanke. Like, what do you remember when he dropped deep and he could have done again and just like dribble past the man and then spread the ball? He didn't even do that. He lost possession. I'm just looking at Bissouma. Bissouma, actually, when he came to play his dribble pass, he did it well. I didn't look at the stats. I just based on my eye test. But other players, I was disappointed, especially like players like Archie Gray, Solanke, and Son. Johnson, I know he's not good enough, but those 4, I wasn't impressed.
I was just interested to see what Sil said, and about Archie Gray because I thought he was getting rinsed by that right hand side.
Alex, do you know what it is with Archie Gray? Alex, do you know what it is with Archie Gray? Let me tell you what it is. In possession, he's actually quite good, right?
Yeah.
He does give the ball away once in a while, but that's part of his development of progressing to the adult game at the level we're at. So he's going to give it away. Out of possession, I think he's lacking. I think he's really lacking. The issue we've got is for him to improve this part of his game, he needs to play regular minutes. So unless he's playing week in, week out, he's not going to develop, not the way we need him to. So we've got this problem right now where either we play him regularly or he's got to go on loan. And the same applies to
playing in position.
That's why. Why do we buy him in the first place? We should have just put him on loan then.
Yeah, for 40 million.
For me, like to me, he's gonna lose his confidence as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean?
No, sorry, Alex. Sorry to cut you off, but at the same time, we played the better team that we played against Coventry. He had good players around him. Still managed to not look great. That's my problem with Gray and the others.
Dietrich, the whole team was abysmal against Coventry. That was a horrendous team.
No, man to man, we played a better team today than against Coventry. That's what I'm saying. But Gray still managed to look great. He had Van der Ven.
Let me ask you guys a question, right? Because Ian's alluded to this a number of times in the past, right? Is he a right back or is he a DM? Okay, because we seem to be playing him only at right back.
I think he's a DM. To be honest with you, I think you should play him DM.
I can't see it as a DM. There's nothing of the fella. There is absolutely nothing of him. He'd get literally pushed off the ball like a bit of wind. He's only 18. There's nothing of him.
Dan,
I can't picture him being DM for the Premiership. Not at the moment.
Yeah. Sorry, mate. Go on. Sorry.
Centre mid maybe. I can't see him being a DM at the moment. Again, we got to remember he's only 18, but there's absolutely nothing of him. All right, he might be 6 foot something, but you can't tell me the man's got muscle and there's nothing of him. He probably only weighs about 9 stone, and for a DM, maybe that's what he is to be for the future, but not for now. But then everyone was telling me he's our DM, he's our central mid. Everyone was telling me he was got a young player of the year. Fair enough, he did, but he didn't even make it into the top 11 in the first 11, whatever. He played at right back. What have we actually bought this boy for? For 40 million?
I think the question, Dan, the question is why did we not? Is not why did we buy him? Because I think he will progress, he will develop, and I think I listen. People might have a pop at me afterwards if he doesn't come through, but I genuinely think he will be an established player at Spurs within the next year or two. He's not ready at the moment. I think the problem is not that you buy good kids, but you don't add to that. And we didn't bring in any established players, and we should have done.
No, you're right. Yeah, I agree.
The transfer issue wasn't that we bought kids, because if they're good kids, they'll develop and they're good buys for the future. But we should have brought in. We got rid of 4 players who, for me, apart from the Celso, weren't good enough, but they're established players, and we should have replaced at least with more than Solanke. We needed a centre forward.
Ian, I got laughed on the Football Terrace, right? Yeah. When I said I have Højbjerg back in my midfield because Højbjerg was a stander in our midfield, and he would do a job. I get what you're saying, Dietrich, but when you've not replaced him with someone better than Højbjerg, and that's it. Listen, Ian, I respect your opinion because at least you give me an explanation. You're not going over the top like saying, "Oh, these are going to be magical generational talents." I'm not hearing that from you. You see what I'm saying? What you're saying
is develop.
Huh?
How's he even going to develop?
Exactly, that's the problem.
Well,
that's
why I'm saying he should be on loan.
And he's a defence, exactly.
He should be on loan.
You're saying he's going to develop.
Is he going to?
So what is he, Ian? Is he a right back? Is he a DM? Is he a centre back?
The worst part, he looks worse than.
He looks worse than.
Is he a centre forward?
Dan, the question is he going to end up like a versatile, versatility type player, and then you're a master of nothing. And that's, you know, I mean,
exactly.
Enough,
so what is he? How's he going to develop?
We were looking at Sarr today, and I said to my son, "What do you think of Sarr?" And he said, "Well, he does different things, but he's not fantastic at one specific thing." You know, he said, you know,
that's what I said earlier on the show earlier.
Basuma's got terrific acceleration over 5 yards that you can see that sets him off against most of the other players. But Sarr he's good at a few things, but he doesn't excel at anything.
Yeah. What bothers
me?
What is he?
Listen, I've been told that apart from those 25 games for Leeds, he's always played I don't know, you call them a 6-8. For me, they're midfield players. They're centre mid. You know, your centre mid, right mid, or left mid. I don't go on this 6, 8, and 10 because, you know, midfield players go up together and come back together.
I know what you mean.
So what is he? I've been told his favourite position is central midfield. I would have personally.
You don't even know, do you?
Ian.
You don't even know. So how are we even going to
playing him at right back? But do you think that Ange wants to give some of these kids an opportunity, and he's saying, right, I'll put Gray at the back, I'll put Bergvall in midfield.
But you don't that's not giving a chance.
How's he going to develop if we're playing him out of position?
He doesn't look like a right back to me. Certainly not on today's.
Can I ask you a question, guys? Can I ask you a question? How old is Archie Gray?
He's 18.
18.
Right. So in youth football, the way it typically works is from when you're really young, 6 to 10, they just focus on technique, skill, basic passing, early levels of positional play. That's it. From 11 to 13, you play in kind of 3 positions, and they start developing you as a player.
Yeah.
And then 13 to 15, you kind of go down to 2 positions, and then from 16 to 18, that's when you master a position. Right now, we're going to find out what's your position. So he's at the age now where they should know his position. So if he's playing right back for Spurs, my strong suggestion would be they see him as a right back in an inverted system.
Yeah, but still, I can see you in the.
So this is his position. He's not going to be DM because at this age they know where he's going to play.
I can say no. You can no. A club can tell me, oh yeah, I can see you as a right back. But if I tell you in the media and from the manager, I want to play as a DM, I'm not a right back, I don't feel comfortable, then you should not be playing him at right back.
Yeah, but we don't know if he said that, right? Maybe
he said it to the media. I want to play as a 6. That's my favorite position. That's the most comfortable I am with.
Maybe he has told Ange that, but at the end of the day, Ange picks the team, not him.
At the same time, Gareth Bale, as a kid, was meant to be a really good left back. He became an amazing left winger.
Yeah, but you're talking about 2 different positions. At the end of the day, he was a left back and right winger. I'm not gonna. Please, before you call me stupid, it's not much of a difference than DM and right back.
I agree with you. I agree.
I get what you're saying.
I agree.
Yeah. Like either way you play on the wing. One you play in the middle, the other one you play on the wing. Like there's a big difference.
Yeah. So how's he gonna adapt or get better when we're playing him out of position? Or are we playing him out of position? Because no one knows what fucking position he plays naturally.
Guys,
Dan, if you look at the other players, just to put some context for me, Ange's selections leave me baffled sometimes. Against Coventry, perfect opportunity to play Spence at right back. That's his position. Brings him on the second half at left back.
Yeah.
He's not a left back. He did very well, as it happens. He scored. He's made and finished a super goal. Thank goodness. But Spence isn't a right back. Spence isn't a left back. He's a right back. Johnson is an inside forward. He's not a winger. Sonny is an inside forward. He's not a winger.
Agreed.
There are so many players playing out of position in our club.
I've said this for ages, mate.
He plays Basuma and he's a box to box. Nobody.
So if people are saying, hang on, so let me just finish. If people are saying, why is he playing Archie Gray at right back? I think that is I think that's Ange's judgment that's got to be called into question, because he's not the only one. He's not the only player that, in my opinion, he's playing out of position. He's playing others as well.
So how's he going to develop then?
I'll be interested to see how he develops, but
you can only develop if you have regular minutes. Unless you
you just said, Ian, that he will develop and be a solid player in 2 years.
Providing he's played properly in midfield, he will develop, Dan, because that's
if Ange stays with us, if Ange stays with us and keeps playing him out of sync, then how's he going to develop?
Archie Gray's not going to play midfield. He's not going to play midfield. He's going to play Pape Sarr ahead of him. He's going to play Bentancur ahead of him. He's going to play Bissouma ahead of him.
You might as well just put him on loan then.
It's a waste of 40 million.
Well, no, because I think Ange and the club see him as an inverted right back. I think this is actually going to be his position, guys. That's why they keep playing there. Think about it. Why is he keep...
By the way, guys, can I, right? Because right now when I watch him play, right, and still you can back me up on this, right, or not, right, or tell me I'm chatting shit, but I think there aren't many like 17-year-old DMs, right? Because to be a DM, you have to be a physical specimen, right? There aren't many 17-year-olds that can actually perform that role, right? I think DMs, I think center mids grow into DMs, right? So as they gain age, they became more like physical, more manly, and all that stuff, right? I think they grow into being DMs, right? So right now, I think I would rather see him playing like the Pape Sarr role instead of the Bissouma or Bentancur role.
I agree.
That's the way I see it, right? But I don't think there is space in the squad for him to play in the midfield. That's why I think they put him right back, because like the way Stel said it, right? I think we play with an inverted right back, so he kind of plays in the midfield, but he doesn't take space from the midfielders, right? Like he doesn't take game time from the midfielders who are higher in the pecking order than him, right? Because as much as we rate or don't rate Pape Sarr, he has more experience, he's older, and all that stuff. Bissouma, Bentancur, not a chance he displaces them right now, in my opinion, right? So, and Kulusevski plays the other 8, so he's, again, same point, he's more physical, more ready to be a center mid, right? So that's why I think, like Sel always says, that the most important thing is game time, right? So I think they can give him game time as a right back replacement rather than taking game time from the set midfielders, right? That's the way I see it, right?
But Michael, it's not even given time. Okay, Sarr has experience, Bissouma has experience. You can just give the kid one game, for example, today or against Coventry, play him in midfield and see if he can handle himself. We cannot judge him based on training. You can say, "Oh, I see him as a right back." That's not enough. That's not a good sign. The best is during the game. Can he handle himself? Yes or no? Sarr has enough experience. Bissouma has enough experience. They don't need to play every game. He could have played Bergval. No, he could play Bergval, Bissouma, and Gray in midfield today, and they could have done a good job.
I agree with what Michael's saying though, but this is what makes it look so stupid. Then why are you putting an 18-year-old in that position? Then you know what I mean? Because obviously he's not ready. You see what I'm saying? He's not ready.
He should have been loaned out. I think he should have been loaned out.
That's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with your point, Michael. Just don't get used to it. But the point I'm saying is, it's the fact is, I say this to everybody, Michael. You know that already. The point I'm making is, why are you putting him in that position? The club put a bloody PR statement saying, "Oh, we love Archie Gray and Bergval. They're ready for the squad."
That's
see Bergval's face. You see Bergval's face when he comes off. He's upset. Well, yes, because he wants to play. Because he's a young player.
Alex, Archie Gray's come out of the Championship. He's had with lots of plaudits. We're playing a Championship team. That was the time to put him in. He's used to playing at that level. That was the level he played at last year. Throw him in. It's not a risk.
No, but the point I'm making is though, Ian, is that I think too what Stelios is saying he needs game time. He
He
needs
does,
more
of course
game.
he does.
All
And
the
the
kids
thing is,
do.
though,
Spence, Bergvall,
it's clearly,
all of them.
unfortunately, if it depends on if we're going to be in these competitions any longer. You see what I'm saying? And the problem is with this, we need to win trophies right now.
Yeah.
So we can't be relying on him because he will cost us in games. He will cost us in games, in certain games. And that's the problem at the moment because we need to win trophies because that
Alex,
team does need these trophies, unfortunately.
Alex, we haven't got the biggest squad.
Well, whose fault's that?
No, exactly. Well,
that?
listen, we know where that comes down to. We know they had a limited budget to spend this year because it was all about getting the wage bill down, making the figures look attractive because he's trying to bring in investors. That's what the whole thing was about. And that's what the transfer window was all about, unfortunately. And we have suffered for that this summer, big time.
Does Dragusin get a 3-game ban in Europe now?
Yes.
3 games, yeah.
Is it?
Right.
I thought it was 2.
I think that was 2 games running in Europe. We had a red card, wasn't it?
It's 2. Maybe in Europe it's 2, right? Because in league it's 3 for the
I think it's
rate.
2.
I'll be 1 sec. Need a phone charger here.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I see what your point is
for the next game, right? Or not?
But it's it's a shame. It's a shame, but like, Romero has to play then, isn't he? You know what I mean? Romero has to play now, isn't it? You know what I mean? So, or Davis has to play because he's on our squad, isn't it? So he's obviously good enough.
Wait, is Romero suspended for the next game too? Because
No.
he got 2 yellows, right? He got 2 yellows in the AC Milan game.
No. He plays next. He plays next game. I think it's just 1 game.
He got 2 yellows against AC Milan, so it's only a 1 game suspension. Dragusin got a straight red, so it's 2.
Imagine we kept Ashley Phillips. It would have made a big difference.
Yeah. I mean, unless he plans to play, like, how was this kid called? Dorrington in the academy? I'm not sure.
So the rule is in UEFA a player or official sent off by the referee is automatically suspended for the next match in a UEFA club competition. It says 1 game.
Okay.
That's the UEFA rule right there.
So it's better for Outmore then.
That's good news then.
Yeah, it's the Premier. Whoops, wrong thing here. So the Premier League's pretty harsh with the 3-game ban.
Yeah. So Dragusin will be back to Mark Troy Parrott in 4 weeks' time. Be interesting.
Oh, that's going to be fun. That's going to be a lot of fun.
I bet you he scores against us.
We know he is. We know he is. We know he's going to score.
No, sorry, I'm driving. I'm not sure. Does it say like if you get a straight red, you're not banned for 2 games or 3? It doesn't say.
I just read it. It says 1 game.
1 game. Okay, we're lucky then.
Yeah.
But it said UEFA club competition. This is a club competition of UEFA, so it's 1 game ban.
Okay.
That's the. I read it straight off the rules there. So unless the rules are outdated, that I've read, I don't know. But
I don't think it's helped with Archie Gray that people are saying he's man of the match and like all stuff.
Who said he was man of the match?
Oh, you watched the football terrace. I was on the football terrace and 2 people said, the 3 people. You know who I'm talking about if you watch it. They all left the stream when I said Archie Gray wasn't that great, and then one person said, "Oh, he's man of the match," and I was like, "What?"
Yeah. You deserve everything you get for going on that cesspit of a show, Alex. I have 0 sympathy.
I know what you're gonna say.
You bring it on yourself. I've warned you 1,000 times.
I know. As soon as I went on there, I was like, and I saw. I can't. Unfortunately,
you know. No, don't even promote them. How dare you? How dare you?
No, I had to ask a question because they all left because they couldn't take the truth. Yeah, because they said I was talking rubbish. But when I said, I was like, really? And
Who did you have down as man of the match?
More Vicario. I can see what is his name? Solanke does now. Yeah. So I gave because Smatta explained it to me because we have long chats on the phone because I love talking football with this guy. and he was explaining about what he thought on Solanke, why we brought him in, and I can see why. And it's from what his explanation was. I think if you watch Spurs Kings TV on Tuesday, he would have explained it on there. But yeah, he's like a Emil Heskey sort of type player, like Firmino for Liverpool. He holds up the ball and he helps Johnson and Song, who I agree with you. I don't rate Johnson. But he is an inside forward. He's 100% an inside forward. I think he's more effective at inside forward, definitely, and the same with Song as well. To be honest,
I said this so many times all last season. We don't. People keep calling them wingers. Spurs don't play with wingers. We play with attacking forwards, right? We don't play with the traditional winger type.
That's right. Ginola was a winger, wasn't he? That's Bale played on from.
Yeah, Lennon was a winger. Anderton was a winger. Bale was. We don't play with wingers. We play with inside forwards, Alex. Basically, yeah.
But if you look at the position that Johnson has scored his 3 goals in the last week, it's all fairly much within 5 yards, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Where he is, I mean, he took his goal beautifully today.
Yeah,
but that's
the other two.
But that's the Spurs way. We've got to get as close as possible to the goal before we shoot. Like this is.
But he angled it nicely, didn't it? It was nicely timed, straight in the corner.
Well done.
And 3 and 3.
His goal against Brentford was very good. That was a very good goal.
He's going to have to do more than that though to get critics like me off his back.
Listen, if he does it against Man United and Brighton, I've told people to come on here.
Credit where credit is due. I need to see him now play. Like not just for 5-10 minutes and do something. I want to see him do something for 90 minutes because you don't even usually see him do something for 45.
The thing is, right?
I want to see him do it against big teams, not just the little teams as such.
Dan, I don't give any of them credit when they score goals against the lesser teams for the simple fact they did that last year already. They've proven to me they're all right against the bottom teams. It's what you said just now. They've got to do it against the top 10. This is how I'm gonna gauge this entire season on one thing. Can we do it against the teams that are in the top 10 and in the top 10 across Europe? If the answer is yes, I'll say Ange Ball works. I'll say he's turning it around.
Do we treat Man United as a top 10 side because they are 11th now?
Do you know what? That's a great question. I think it's the traditional top 10, right? Like the traditional top 10.
You're right.
He's right.
I kid you not, when I watch them play, I think there are 10 better sides than them.
I'll tell you what, Michael, if we beat them and people come for them, I'm going to say, yeah, but they're not a top 10 team.
Well, I think Man United fans are actually saying they want us to beat them so they can get rid of Ten Hag. So
yeah, I've seen them like having meltdowns. So like, yeah, I hope Spurs turn us over so we can get rid of this bold fraud and all that stuff.
But they've won 2 trophies with him.
I get it, right? But like, I think there comes like a certain point where, like, no matter if you won a trophy, right? They are so fucking trash when you watch them, right? I cannot put it in a different way than what I just did. Like when you watch them play, and this, I know it's coming from a Spurs fan, right? I should never like say anything bad about winning trophies, right? But honestly, when you watch them on the pitch, right? The way, like when you watch the names that they have and the amount of talent that they actually have in the team and how they perform and how like disjointed their whole play is, right? How there is like a 40-meter gap between their forward line and the midfield, right? How they isolate Kobe Mino.
What, like our goalkeeper and defenders?
Right? Yeah, it's like they are so disjointed on the pitch, right? That it comes from the manager, right? It just purely comes from the manager. And I know they won the FA Cup, right? But I also want to remind people that in the semi-final, they were like a toenail away from the biggest embarrassment in English football, right?
Like
getting reverse swept 4-3 by Coventry, right?
Yeah, well, so, I agree with you.
I get it, right? They won the trophy side. Like me as a Spurs fan, I would kill to get trophies, right? But it's like, you know.
But on that basis, Michael, then we should be beating them, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we aren't like the greatest side in Premier League, but I think we should be beating them. I honestly think we should be beating them. It's
the way
just,
that Man United fans are talking about Ten Hag and saying that he's a trash manager, we should be beating them, isn't it?
you
I mean,
know
we
what
should
the
be
worst
coming up
thing.
with our heads struck, arrogance and saying, "Yeah, we know Ange Ball. Yeah, we're going to come here and walk over this stadium, walk over this pitch, and make them look like, look like
You know what the worst part is, Alex, right? I actually think that, and this is again something that we constantly say about Ange, right? But I think if he adjusted I think the only way United can really hurt us is long ball over the top and running through on our defense, right? This is actually what they are good at, right? With Garnacho, Rashford, Højlund, and all these guys that are actually quite
They're good at what we're weak at.
Yeah, exactly, right? I think this is the worst thing, right? Because I kid you not, I can see a game where we have like 65% possession, right? We create like 25 shots, right? But we are just not
and
critical
zero
in front
clear-cut
of the ball.
chances.
Yeah, zero
Don't worry,
clear-cut
Solanke
chances, and
will
we
score.
lose like 2-1 or something stupid like that, right? Two long balls over the top, and it's party time in Manchester, and we go back home on 7 points after 6 games, right? I can honestly see that happening, which is terrifying.
Michael, do you know what? Because I want to wrap it up. I want to start wrapping it up. Let's actually quickly have a chat about Man United.
Okay.
What's your prediction then? We'll go around and everyone can have their little say about the game and then a prediction.
I honestly think this will end like it ended last year, which is 2-2, and I think the game will go in a like extremely similar way as it did last year, which was we had like a lot of the ball, we were like better on the ball, we were better at dribbling, better at attacking, and all that stuff, and they just catch us twice on the break, and it's honestly infuriating to say because like. In this state of Man United, I honestly think we should rock up there and slap them 3-0. Like, I honestly don't rate them this much, right? That I think we should rock up to Old Trafford and win 3-0 if we had a manager capable of thinking, the only way they can hurt us is long ball over the top. Maybe I drop the line 10 meters, right? And don't allow them to get so easily behind us, right? But I honestly think like Rashford will have the game of his life, always does against us, and that's the way I see it. I think 2-2. Although I have to say I really don't rate them, and yeah, that's the way I see it.
All right, Michael's going 2-2. Quick super chat from Big Angie's mate Bull. Stel, when BJ scores against United, can you get on your hands and knees and apologise for us? No. Unless you agree that if he doesn't score, that you put you come on here and you apologize to me for being right. So if you can agree to that, then I might agree to doing the hands and knees thing. So I'll let you reply. Dan, thanks for the super chat, by the way. Respect. Dan, what's your thinking about this game? How do you feel about it? Which way is it going to go? What's your prediction?
I see a 2-2 coming out of it. Both capable of scoring goals, both very capable of conceding goals. It's the perfect game for someone like Rashford. I can't stand him. I really can't. I mean, don't get me wrong, as a player, he has a good 6 months and then he disappears again. But when he's good, he's really good. When he's poor, he's piss poor. But I can't stand him. I think he's so far shoved up his own arse he can smell yesterday's dinner. And I just don't like it. And they're good at what we're not, basically.
Yeah.
They will catch us on the counter twice, most probably.
I swear Dan has the best expression.
Sorry. It's the way they will catch us, basically. And we'll probably be on them. Yeah, I see a 2-2, basically. And they'll catch us on a counter attack twice.
2-2. So we've got 2 draws so far. Ian?
Same again. I think they're 2 evenly matched sides at the moment. I don't think either of them are outstanding. Don't think either of them are poor. I think it'll be an entertaining game. I think the first goal is absolutely key. I remember we went there the other year, didn't we? When we were top with Conte, I think we beat Everton at home in the October, and if it hadn't have been for Lloris, we'd have lost 8-0. And I just hope it's not one of those days. But I don't. United turned it on that night. You know, they've been crap all up to then, and they seem to do well against us at Old Trafford. But no, I can see a draw. Johnson and Solanke are in a rich vein of goal scoring form at the moment. I think they'll carry on. I think they'll both score.
So everyone's going 2-2. Box office.
I say, yeah, I think it's going to be a draw as well, 1-1. But I do have a sneaking suspicion that if we miss chances, Man United might sneak it somehow.
So are Man United going to sneak it, or are we going to draw?
I think it's going to be a draw, 1-1.
Alex is going for a 1-1 as well.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Man United win, though. I wouldn't be surprised. Because I just don't rate our front forward.
Yeah, by the way, I gave a draw, but I wouldn't be surprised if they win it 2-1, right? But honestly, I also wouldn't be surprised if we win 2-1. I just think it's that type of game that it's like
that's the thing, you just don't know.
The edge, right?
They're both so inconsistent, and
exactly
you just don't know what players are going to turn up. You just know what system's going to turn up. We're probably the two most. I don't think erratic's the word.
Chaotic.
Yeah.
Inconsistent, Dan. Inconsistent.
That's the one.
Chaotic, right?
The two most inconsistent teams in the Premiership. Yeah, that's the word.
All right. I can guess what he's going to say, but I'm going to let him have his say. Beatrice.
It'll say we'll lose 5-0, won't you?
No, 4-0. 4-0 to Man United, right?
Honestly, I was about to say 2-1 Spurs, but unfortunately, Son is not on form.
Solanke's your man, Dietrich. Don't worry, he's your man.
No, do you know what's funny? Because I don't rate Man United's midfield, because if Kulusevski plays in midfield, we can get something. I believe so. But it's just the high line that scares me. So I don't know. It feels like I think it's going to be a 0-0. Nobody's going to score.
Kulu needs to do more.
I don't see a 0-0.
Telling this right now, nobody's going to score. It's going to be like two teams that are not playing well. Nobody's going to.
But if you look at Dietrich's logic, where United have missed loads of chances and Vicario's just a top keeper, it could be 0-0, couldn't it?
I think it's going to be 0-0. Like, they're not going to take their chances, and Spurs, we all know we have to put the ball. That's like.
I also think they are allergic to giving chances away. Sorry, I put it wrong. They give a lot of chances away. I honestly think even our front line will probably convert one or two. So that's why I don't see a 0-0. But I also think we will get caught on the counter. Like, they will have an open goal at some point in that match, right? So
because last time we played, Vicario had a phenomenal game. So I honestly believe he's going to have a good game, Vicario. But if Son was on form, I'm going to say 2-0. I just wish Son turns up for this game. I just hope so.
So everyone's gone for a draw.
I'm going to say 2-1 Spurs. No, actually 2-1. But I'm going to say 2-1
Spurs.
Yeah.
Still, what do you reckon?
You came on the show tonight. You told us we're shit. You told us we should have beaten Qarabag, and now you're predicting a 2-1 win at Old Trafford.
No, I'm good. Honestly, no.
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. I don't understand.
You know what? No. Do you know why? Because I believe our midfield is so much better. It's so much superior than Man United. Kulusevski is on top form.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
Honestly,
he looks good on centre mid. He looks good on centre mid.
No, I need to see more. No, I need to see more.
You always say that. You always say that.
No, I don't care, Michael. No, we're not doing. I'm not doing this with Kulusevski.
Every single week.
I don't care. I don't care. No, we're not doing this with Kulusevski. I need to see more.
Why not?
I need to see more. It needs to be more consistent.
Clothes off, Alex.
I know, but Dan, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with Kulusevski. He has a good 6 months first part, and then we don't see him. Now let's see what he does. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, but he's in the 6 months period, right?
Everyone's calling me about the comments even still. I said if Son
Alex
turns up,
just wants more.
it's going to be one if Son turns up and Kulu.
If they're calling you a fraud in the comments, is because they're listening to what you say as the show goes on, and they're making up their own mind. I never told anyone to call you a fraud.
No, I know what I said is a bit fraudulent, but I just said if Son turns up,
a bit.
I'm saying if Son turns up, but I don't think he will. Look, I'm giving 2 scores, either 2-1 or 0-0. I don't know. I actually don't know.
All right, fair enough. I'm gonna go. Listen, there's a winner in this. There's a winner. There's definitely a winner.
Yeah, but who?
I think by 1 goal, either 2-1 or 3-2. I think United are going to win it, and I'll tell you why. Because I stick by what I say about Kulu, Johnson's, all these players in these big games. I stick by it. I don't think they'll do the business. But most importantly, I think what's going to happen here is we might even have all the possession, like Michael said, 20 shots. Whenever Man United are on the brink of the whole Ten Hag out thing gaining momentum, he pulls a fucking result out of his backside, this guy. He always pulls a rabbit out of the hat to just buy another 4 games, right? And I think he's just going to pull a rabbit out the hat and they're going to sting us and we lose by 1 goal.
They're not playing well.
It's what Ten Hag has done ever since he's come to Man United. He's always done this. He just pulls that one big game like they beat Arsenal or they beat Liverpool in the FA Cup or they beat Man City in the cup final or they just do something they're not supposed to do, like they beat Aston Villa. They do shit like that. And he needs one now. He needs one. And I think he just gets it, man. This is what he does. This is what Ten Hag does.
It is true. It is true.
This is what he does.
Do you want to make a bet?
I don't do bets anymore. After that Arsenal shirt fiasco, I'm never doing bets again. You can do bets. No,
mate. I'd have rather paid up 500 quid than do that.
Mate, I after what happened to me, no, I'm going to go Man United win by 1 goal. Scott with the super chat says, Dietrich, be honest, that Albanian goat hair transplant you got is starting to affect your football team. Oh Lord, big up Scott. So we got 1, 2, 4, 5 draws and 1 Man United narrow win. So we'll see what happens on the weekend.
You know, Stan, can I say something, right? I honestly
do you know what the worst thing is, Michael? Do you know what the worst thing is? Michael, the worst thing is I'm predicting a loss and I literally just got a ticket to go to the game off Ian tonight.
But honestly, guys, can I be completely honest with you, right? For the sake of Premier League, I hope we lose because I want Ten Hag as long as he can be in that United job. I want him to stay there as long as he can because I like watching United suffer.
But they keep winning trophies, though. He does win trophies, though, man. We can't knock him. He wins trophies.
The amount of suffering they go through every single week.
I know, but
you don't get it, guys, because like in England, you have fans of different clubs, right? In Poland, it's Man United or nothing. It's a bit of Arsenal, right? And a bit of Liverpool and Chelsea. But it's fucking like 90% Man United fans. And they all have zero ball knowledge, and they are all pricks, right? So as long as United suffer, I am happy. As a Polish guy, I honestly have to say that, right?
But on the other side of it, though, they have done better than Arsenal.
All I will say is this just sums
and Chelsea
up why I
and
said
Tottenham and Liverpool.
Yeah,
this is why I sum up. This is why I say football is bang average right now, and I've stick by what I say all day long. I'm sorry, I stick by what I say all day long because I'm sorry. This argument about because I don't get. I do get the whole thing about systems and all that, but I mean, Man United should be doing much better than what they're doing at the moment. And you know, Man City without Rodri is now going downhill. I've been told, which I don't believe. Arsenal played the way that they play, which, to be honest with you, I don't think is that bad because Man United were doing that back in the 90s with Alex Ferguson. Chelsea now look like a formidable team now. And Liverpool,
it's too early for Chelsea yet. It's too early. Let's see.
Yeah, I know, and I think Liverpool it's too early as well. So it's like, and I don't think it's any right mind. I don't think we should be in the mix at all, Tottenham.
No,
I don't think.
Slot's proven himself in the Dutch league.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I honestly don't think we should be in the mix. I look at the sides that I've seen in back in the 90s with us before. Like I've made Martin Yole's team, Pochettino's team, like maybe even Harry Redknapp's teams better than what we've got at the moment. That I just don't. Other than Van der Ven and the goalkeeper, maybe. I'm not looking at any of those players and thinking, yeah, you know what.
But it's not the same time. You can't compare the players now and before.
Well, yeah, the thing is, I think I can, because the thing is, I still look at it and I just think, I just don't get it. I just don't get it for me. You know what I mean? And the thing is, it's just gonna be an interesting game. I think it would just be interesting to see because I think it's gonna be dependent on what systems, who's got the better system for the players that they've got on Sunday. Man United versus Tottenham. I think that's what's going to be interesting for me, because I don't think it's on the. I think everyone's judging it on the next 10 games and stuff. For me, I think the second part of the season is going to be very, very interesting. That's it. That's it for me.
I don't understand one thing. I don't know why people don't rate Ten Hag. He's actually not a bad manager. It just didn't work out Manu, but he's actually decent in my opinion.
At Man United, I don't rate his job, right? I think at Man United it's a complete shit show.
Yeah, but Van Gaal was good. Everyone's not good at Man U.
Yeah, I think it's not. He isn't the only issue at that club, right? But
I would take Ten Hag if before you join Man U. I would have taken Ten Hag at Spurs. Before
I wanted Ten Hag, but then when we couldn't get him, I think it was the second time we sat to manager, I wanted Arne Slot, and I made a very big deal about wanting Arne Slot for the reasons that you're now seeing at Liverpool. The way he plays, I think, is a better.
By the way, in terms of the wish list of managers, right? I wanted Glasner or Ruben Amorim after Conte, which both play back three, and now everyone is saying we have a back three team, right? So guess who predicted that?
Well, look, we've got two massive Premier League games coming up. We're going to see a lot. We're going to find out a lot. Oh, by the way, I forgot. Big up to a couple of people. Mem came up to me, fan of the channel. I said I'll give you a shout out. Big up to you. And Jimmy, who's often in the comments. Jimmy and his boys, top guys, by the way. Great to meet you all tonight. Thanks for introducing yourselves. Respect to you guys as always.
Dan,
when are you next on? When's Hotspur Hood live?
Sometime soon. I'll probably only give people half hour warning, so that's what I usually do. I just go with the flow, but it will be soon.
All right. Tomorrow,
I've got to go to bed. I'm knackered, mate.
Yeah, go, Dan. See you later. So check out Hotspur Hood tomorrow or on Saturday. Alex, you got any videos coming out? Any lives you got planned?
Oh, I'll do a post match on this game, maybe tomorrow morning. And yeah, you might see me about, maybe. You know what I mean? Maybe make another appearance on the Football Terrace to mince some people to pieces. Because honestly, I'm sorry. I think they need their day in the sunshine right now, to be honest with you. So that's going to be box office. I'll tell you that for a fact. Because if you're telling me Archie Gray was man of the match, some of this ridiculous I'm going to hear. I'm sorry. I need to leave that Archie Gray. No, Michael. Michael, you don't know Mr. Box Office. You don't know Mr. Box Office. When people chat rubbish, and they make embarrassing statements as a Tottenham fan, not having a guy at Ian, by the way, because Ian's an absolutely lovely guy, by the way, right? Is that I need to do it, and I love challenges, as you know. And when he gets me challenges, the main event absolutely loves it and revels in it, and that's it. And that's all I need to say, and that's it. On the what time is it? 1:30 in the morning as well. You know what I mean? So well done for getting my fuel back up again. You know what I mean? Back to you still. I'm done. If you don't know, get to know.
Alex, it feels like you want to go to an asylum and just help everyone. Like, it doesn't work like that.
We are ending it right there. Thank you to Zama Big for becoming a channel member. I will email you later on tonight and arrange for you to come on the channel. Don't worry. I will do that. I've had quite a few fans come on the last couple of weeks, so I will get round to sorting out with you. Big up to Big Angie's mate Ball. You did reply to me about you doing your side of the agreement. And Scott M, big up to you as well. Thank you for the super chats. Guys, we will be back. Iggy probably will do a video tomorrow morning, and then late night show on Sunday. I think Mari's going to have to run this because I'll be on the road coming back. Man United Spurs. This should be an absolute cracking show. let's see what happens. Otherwise, big up to you guys. Thanks for being on the show as always, boys.
Thank you. Happy we won 3-0, clean sheets.
Yeah. 3 wins in a row. 3 wins in a row. When was the last time that happened?
No, happy we won. I'm happy we won.
3 wins in a row. We'll leave it on that one. Up the Spurs. Let's go to Old Trafford. Hopefully we win. Take care.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
The first game we look for, Robbie. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away.